Chapter 2277. This battle formation must be obtained. Skeletons differ from one another. My undead army possesses the bone law, but other skeletons may not. Yet this skeleton army before me can actually use the bone law, and even better than I can. 1,000,000 skeletons simultaneously summoned the bone law, converging it into a star sea. The power of the law elevated to the power of rules, becoming stronger than when used individually. The skeleton commander swung his flame sword, shouting,
Bone Star Explosion!
The battle formation activated, and the Law Star Sea erupted with tremendous force. Countless bones shot out from the Law Star Sea, exploding the moment they touched the Hell Fiends. The supposedly indestructible Hell Fiends were crushed like tofu in the Bone Star explosion. Although the Hell Fiends wouldn't truly die, they couldn't recover quickly for the time being. One Bone Star explosion killed at least tens of millions of Hell Fiends. A large gap was blasted in the encirclement of Hell Fiends. The skeleton commander swung his battle sword again, shouting loudly,
Charge, Bone Arrow!
The Bone Law Star Sea boiled, and a giant arrow over 10,000 meters long appeared out of thin air, its body completely made of bones. The bone arrow shot towards Lin Moyu, piercing through all the Hell Fiends in its path, even punching a huge tunnel through the Bone Hell. The skeleton commander led the skeleton army, riding the Bone Law Star Sea, charging through the tunnel. The bone arrow was powerful and unstoppable, completely piercing through the Bone Hell, reaching Lin Moyu in an instant.
Can't block it.
Lin Moyu's heart sank. He reacted quickly, summoning countless skeleton god generals around him to attack the bone arrow. Pure white sword energy swept out, bombarding the bone arrow. The bone arrow only shook slightly, its momentum undiminished. Instead, the skeleton god generals attacking the bone arrow all shattered. Lin Moyu could clearly feel that their souls were damaged, and this damage came from the bone arrow. The bone law was an attack targeting souls, but he never expected it could also reflect damage. With the skeleton god generals unable to stop it, the bone arrow was right before his eyes. Lin Moyu let out a cold shout, his undying golden body erupting as he threw a punch. This punch could injure even a holy venerable if hit, its power even stronger than the skeleton god general's attacks. Lin Moyu wanted to test the strength of the bone arrow personally. Boom! The massive forces collided, violently shaking the skeleton army led by the skeleton commander, temporarily halting their advance. The bone arrow was also knocked off course, flying towards the distance. Lin Moyu was sent flying, hearing cracking sounds as the bones in his arm collectively shattered and pulverized, his flesh exploding, leaving his arm in a misshapen state. The power of life quickly circulated, working with his body's powerful recovery ability to heal the injuries on his arm at an astonishing speed.
Even the undying golden body couldn't withstand it. Truly powerful enough.
The thought flashed through his mind like lightning. Before his arm's injuries could fully heal, the skeleton commander had already led the skeleton army to break through the Bone Hell, rapidly charging towards him. The army rode the Bone Law Star Sea above their heads, their momentum unmatched, instantly killing any skeleton god generals they touched along the way.
Such a powerful battle formation.
Lin Moyu marveled inwardly, his previous confidence now largely dissipated. The battle formation was both offensive and defensive, with the Bone Law Star Sea capable of attack and defense, incredibly powerful. He realized he had completely underestimated the power of the battle formation. A battle formation composed of 1,000,000 other shore realm beings was enough to contend with a supreme. Even being able to break through the Bone Hell meant this battle formation's power had surpassed that of a half-step supreme. Surpassing a half-step supreme, what else could it be but a supreme? Lin Moyu's mind stirred, and the Forest Supreme appeared beside him. The Forest Supreme's body expanded to 100,000 meters, swinging countless vines to whip at the skeleton army. The Bone Law Star Sea was immediately distorted and twisted by the whipping, with the bones within stirring up endless waves. The skeleton army's forward momentum was also halted. The Forest Supreme was a true supreme. In life, he had been a weak supreme, one of those
Trash Supremes.
mentioned by the mysterious master. After becoming a revived being, he had become somewhat stronger, able to match ordinary Supremes. The Forest Supreme was also Lin Moyu's current strongest trump card. The skeleton commander swung his battle sword, his metallic voice ringing out,
Bone blades!
Countless bones flew out from the Bone Law Star Sea, transforming into blades. The blades combined to form numerous discs. The edges of the discs were incredibly sharp. They spun rapidly, unleashing terrifying power as they collided with the Forest Supreme's vines. The razor-sharp discs were knocked flying, while large wounds were cut into the vines. The Forest Supreme's wounds healed quickly, but the discs kept striking, causing the wounds to continuously expand. Lin Moyu unleashed the power of life to help heal the Forest Supreme, ensuring he could continue attacking. Both sides were at a stalemate. The Forest Supreme couldn't overcome the skeleton army for the moment, but the skeleton army also couldn't break through the Forest Supreme's vines. Lin Moyu was now completely certain that the power of the skeleton army's battle formation could truly rival a Supreme. His eyes flashed with brilliance.
If a battle formation of 1,000,000 other shore realm beings can contend with the Supreme, what about a formation of 10 million or 100 million skeletons? Even if 1,000,000 is the limit, that's enough. I have 2.5 billion skeletons, which could form 2,500 battle formations, equivalent to 2,500 Supreme-level combat powers. This way, facing the battle realm would be much easier. This battle formation must be obtained. The mysterious master is truly terrifyingly strong. Could he have calculated even the arrival of the battle realm? So powerful yet still not a Tao Venerable. How formidable must Tao Venerables be? Perhaps in the eyes of Tao Venerables, worlds like the Great World are nothing.
Lin Moyu thought to himself, also deciding that no matter what method he had to use, he must obtain this battle formation. The Forest Supreme seemed to have held off the opponent. As long as he could persist for an hour, he would meet the mysterious master's requirements. But Lin Moyu felt that alone might not be enough. There might still be unexpected changes. The best way was to defeat the battle formation and overcome the opponent. Only then could he truly be secure. The star rivers of the two great laws of time and space appeared simultaneously. The power of law had completely elevated to the power of rules. The two types of rules fused together, becoming even more powerful space-time power. Since mastering space-time power, Lin Moyu had rarely used it in battle. Like the star-sky fish race, he understood space-time power but lacked methods to apply it. He didn't have much time to research space-time power and develop powerful techniques from it. He could only crudely wield space-time power, carrying out simple and brutal attacks. Now was the same. Space-time power surged, forcefully rushing into the skeleton battle formation. He wanted to cut off the space-time of some skeletons, causing the battle formation to fall apart. The Bone Law Star Sea boiled like water upon contact with the space-time power. It rumbled and distorted continuously, resisting the space-time power. But the space-time power was all-pervasive, forcefully permeating it, causing the Law Star Sea to boil even more violently. The skeleton commander swung his flame sword, shouting in a deep voice,
Bone Sea stabilization!
He plunged his battle sword into the Law Star Sea, immediately stabilizing it. Countless white lights fell, making the battle formation even more cohesive, truly becoming a single entity, difficult to divide. The space-time power also lost its effect. Lin Moyu was not discouraged. He continued to maintain the space-time power attack while also unleashing a vast amount of death power, attempting to corrode the Bone Law Star Sea. The core of this battle formation was the Bone Law Star Sea. As long as it was dealt with, the battle formation would collapse on its own. The Bone Hell had also caught up, enveloping the Bone Law Star Sea. The undying flame exploded, and the skeleton throne appeared. 25 skeleton kings emerged in the starry sky.
Attack the Lost Star Sea!
At Lin Moyu's command, all attacks erupted simultaneously, bombarding the Lost Star Sea in a sky-covering manner. 2,278, 2,278. Chapter 2278. Battle Realm, White Bone Battle Formation. Lin Moyu unleashed all his techniques, launching a saturated attack on the White Bone Law Star Sea. The Star Sea was battered and distorted, becoming increasingly unstable. No matter how strong the battle formation was, it had its limits. Under such intense attacks, it was finally about to collapse. The space-time power finally penetrated, dividing the battle formation into different spacetimes, causing the formation to crumble even more severely. No matter how the skeleton commander tried to maintain the formation, it was to no avail. After half an hour of engagement, the entire battle formation collapsed with a boom. The skeleton army was scattered. Lin Moyu's undead army charged in, joining the skeleton kings in slaughtering the skeleton army. This was a battle between skeletons and skeletons, with Lin Moyu holding an absolute numerical advantage. Gray flames exploded in the sky, and the entire world rumbled incessantly.
Stop!
The skeleton commander suddenly spoke, and both the skeleton army and the undead army immediately ceased fighting. The two sides that had been fiercely battling a second ago all stopped in the next, and the world fell into silence. Both sides were absolutely obedient, more so than any other army. Lin Moyu came before the skeleton commander.
Does this count as meeting the requirements?
The flames in the skeleton commander's eyes flickered.
You are qualified to receive the Master's legacy.
As he spoke, he reached for his own skull, his slender skeletal fingers extending through his eyes, forcefully pulling out a bone-white jade-like shard from the soul flames within his skull.
The battle formation is inside. I have followed the Master's orders, and my task is complete. I shall rest, and this battle realm shall be yours. Information about the battle realm is on the mountaintop.
As the skeleton commander spoke, the skeleton army behind him began to turn into smoke and rapidly dissipate. Their mission was complete, and they would leave this world completely. Lin Moyu held the bone-white jade-like shard, his gaze complex.
If I hadn't defeated you earlier and just held out until the end, what then?
The skeleton commander said.
Then you could have obtained the battle formation, but not the battle realm. As I thought, holding out until the end and defeating the opponent result in different rewards. The battle realm is this world, which is like a military camp. It seems quite extraordinary. Ordinary things wouldn't be kept as treasures by him until now.
Lin Moyu bowed to the skeleton commander.
Thank you, Senior.
The skeleton commander didn't respond. For him, he was just completing the orders given by his master. An order that could last for 1,000,000 years showed his loyalty. The entire skeleton army had turned to smoke, and finally, even the skeleton commander dissipated into smoke, leaving this world. This army, capable of rivaling a supreme, had thus dispersed. Lin Moyu keenly noticed that the rules in the battle realm had changed, and the battle realm had become ownerless. A rumbling sound arose, and on the mountaintop, the huge coffin transformed into a stone tablet. 2 large characters were carved on the stone tablet. Battle Realm. The stone tablet was the control core of the battle realm. As long as one refined the stone tablet, one could control this battle realm. Of course, Lin Moyu could also choose to use the world-burning fire to refine the battle realm into a world crystal, but doing so would be too wasteful. Lin Moyu naturally wouldn't do that. His soul power rushed into the stone tablet, quickly refining the battle realm. Lin Moyu's soul realm had reached the supreme level, so the refinement process was extremely fast. In just one day, he became the new master of the battle realm. He learned all the information about the battle realm and finally understood what it was. It truly was a military camp, a terrifying military camp that could move, recover, and be reborn. However, this military camp had a special characteristic. It was only for the use of the undead. There were 1,000,000 coffins in the battle realm, capable of accommodating 1,000,000 undead simultaneously. Normally, the undead would enter the coffins and be nourished by them, recovering from injuries and increasing their strength. Each coffin could leave an imprint. Even if the undead died in battle outside, given enough time, they could automatically resurrect in the coffins. The undead warriors in the battle realm were truly immortal and indestructible. As long as the battle realm existed, they could continuously resurrect. Therefore, the battle realm was also known as the immortal battle realm. In ancient times, there wasn't just one such battle realm, but many. Later, during the Great War, battle realms were destroyed one after another, their numbers dwindling until finally, intact battle realms became rare. After digesting the information about the battle realm, Lin Moyu began to examine the battle formation. The battle formation was called the White Bone Battle Formation, also exclusive to undead armies. To unleash the maximum power of the White Bone Battle Formation, one needed to possess the White Bone Law. After reviewing the information about the battle formation, he let out a long sigh, his eyes showing a hint of helplessness.
Although the battle realm is good, it's of little use to me for now.
To maximize the effectiveness of the battle realm, one needed an undead army of 1,000,000, which Lin Moyu had no problem with. Additionally, a commander was needed. Lin Moyu immediately thought of the Legion ruler, whose existence seemed to be born for the battle realm. But new problems arose. First was the number. Although the Legion ruler indeed possessed the art of dominion, it could only command an army of 100,000, far from 1,000,000. Secondly, the White Bone Battle Formation. The Legion ruler couldn't master the White Bone Battle Formation. To master the White Bone Battle Formation required intelligence, which the Legion ruler lacked. The army in the battle realm could act independently. With just one command, the commander in the battle realm could lead the army to complete tasks. The skeleton commander Lin Moyu had seen earlier was like this, possessing intelligence and able to converse directly with Lin Moyu, no different from an intelligent being. The Legion ruler, however, still needed Lin Moyu's direct command and couldn't think independently. For these reasons, the battle realm and the White Bone Battle Formation were temporarily useless to him. However, Lin Moyu also thought of a solution: the spirit flowers on the world tree. The spirit flowers could perform a second incubation on the undead army and grant them intelligence. Once the spirit flowers matured, he could perform a second incubation on the Legion ruler, giving it intelligence. Then he could transform the Legion ruler into a commander. It could control the battle realm, learn the battle formation, truly become independent from him and form its own army. Both the battle realm and the White Bone Battle Formation were extremely powerful existences. Most importantly, in the control core of the battle realm, there was also the method to create battle realms. The method to create battle realms was extremely special, and currently couldn't be implemented. However, he believed that, in the future, he would be able to create battle realms. Then he could form multiple powerful armies. Lin Moyu could imagine how astonishing it must have been when the mysterious master released the battle realms and mobilized countless armies to quell rebellions back then. Although he didn't obtain a world crystal, Lin Moyu felt that this gain was even greater. Through the battle realm, he thought of the Netherworld Swamp. The Netherworld Swamp was clearly also a type of battle realm. Battle realms weren't confined to a single form, focusing only on function. They could be like cemeteries or like swamps, all depending on personal preference. Thinking of this, Lin Moyu didn't hesitate and headed directly to the Netherworld Swamp. Using spatial laws, he bypassed the Yellow Earth Desert and entered the Netherworld Swamp directly. The once incredibly difficult Yellow Earth Desert was now like his backyard in his eyes, coming and going as he pleased. The Netherworld Swamp still emitted a terrifying aura, with ape-like beings moving about inside. Skeleton god generals flew out, sweeping through everything in their path. Lin Moyu walked through the swamp, feeling the aura emanating from it, looking at the tombstones standing in the center of the swamp. He had once added color to them here, gaining their recognition.
It's indeed a battle realm. Although the form is different, the aura is actually the same, all created by the same person. During the Great War back then, this battle realm was more severely damaged. The skeletons inside were completely shattered, and the battle realm itself was injured to its core, causing the undead warriors inside to be unable to recover. I wonder if this battle realm still has any value.
As he pondered, Lin Moyu arrived at the deepest part of the swamp, where he saw the tomb of Legion Commander Yue, 2279 2279. Chapter 2279. A sudden impulse. The time has come. Seeing Yu Yi's tombstone again, Lin Moyu could now imagine the situation of the great battle back then. The Netherworld Legion was deployed, with each legion being a battle realm like the Netherworld Swamp. Yu Yi was one of them, commanding the first army group. In the end, he was defeated, and even the battle realm was severely damaged, unable to fight again. Otherwise, this battle realm would likely have been completely destroyed. Years later, Lin Moyu came here again, carefully examining the condition of the battle realm. He now possessed a complete battle realm, and comparing the two, he could see that the Netherworld Swamp was already 7 or 8/10 destroyed. That it could be preserved for so many years was already a miracle. The existence of the Yellow Earth Desert was due to its power leaking out. Now standing at a higher position, he overturned his previous judgment and understood the root of the matter.
It seems this battle realm can no longer be repaired. Might as well make use of the waste and refine it into a world crystal. It can still serve some purpose.
Lin Moyu muttered to himself, preparing to use the world-burning fire to refine the entire world. Just as the world-burning fire appeared, Lin Moyu suddenly withdrew it. He placed his hand on Yu Yi's tombstone, sensing an unusual aura from it. This was a karmic thread, faint yet ever-present. Lin Moyu took out the karma gourd and activated it. A thin mist sprayed out from the karma gourd. In the mist, a karmic thread was revealed. The karmic thread extended beyond the Netherworld Swamp, its destination unknown. More mist sprayed out from the karma gourd, wrapping around the karmic thread, revealing the entire thread. Lin Moyu followed the karmic thread out of the Netherworld Swamp. The thread ran through the entire swamp, flying into the depths of space. This was one of the uses of the karma gourd to reveal karma. The karmic thread was very long, spanning thousands of light years. Lin Moyu followed it, traversing thousands of light years. Finally, Lin Moyu reached the end of the karmic thread.
A broken world.
Lin Moyu's eyes lit up with joy. At the end of the karmic thread, he saw a broken world. This world was hidden in darkness, its aura contained. If not for the karmic thread, Lin Moyu would have had difficulty finding it. Without a doubt, this broken world was once the world of those ape-like beings. This world had been destroyed in the ancient war. Although Yu Yi's first army group was defeated when the Netherworld Legion attacked them, the other army groups were not.
This is an unexpected gain.
Although this world was broken, it could still be refined into a world crystal. Lin Moyu stepped into it with a smile. This was a world covered in forests, where the beings resembling apes naturally lived in such an environment. Lin Moyu sensed an aura completely different from the great world, belonging to another world. However, it was already riddled with holes, broken in the great war of the past. Lin Moyu didn't bother to explore this world. The world-burning fire directly exploded, sweeping through the entire world. The world rumbled and shook. The great trees in the forest collapsed amid the tremors, and cries of terror rang out. There were still living beings in this world, but they were not strong, most not even reaching the true God realm. The world had been beaten to ruins. Even if they survived, no powerful beings would emerge again. It was like the great world, where supremes could no longer appear, for the same reason. There were living beings but no master. The origin was shattered, completely unable to resist the refinement of the world-burning fire. Those remaining living beings could only die helplessly. For them, this was a natural disaster, and they could not possibly understand the nature of the world-burning fire. The world continuously shrank, finally turning into a world crystal. This was the 9th world crystal Lin Moyu had obtained. Lin Moyu didn't even know the name of this world before destroying it. As the world was destroyed, the karmic thread also broke. Lin Moyu didn't linger, returning once again to the Netherworld Swamp. The world-burning fire burned again, beginning to refine the Netherworld Swamp. In the Yellow Earth Desert, wild sand flew and rolled. All the monster beings inside met their final end. The Netherworld Swamp was also boiling, countless white bones rushing out from the swamp, like warriors forming ranks in the sky. Yu Yi's tombstone was also glowing brightly, a shadowy figure in armor bursting out from the tombstone, coming to the forefront of the battle formation. Yu Yi's shadow was also broken, the army behind him reduced to broken bones, but their fighting spirit was still strong. Lin Moyu bowed to Yu Yi's shadow.
Your battle has ended. Leave the rest to me.
Yu Yi's shadow looked into the distance, finally looking up at the sky, seeing the world burning fire. He seemed to realize something and slightly nodded to Lin Moyu. Then, at his command, all the broken bones rushed towards their own tombstones. The broken bones crashed into the tombstones like rain, shattering to pieces. Under the rain-like impacts, cracks appeared on the tombstone. Finally, Yui also crashed into his own tombstone. With a boom, the tombstone shattered. Lin Moyu's eyes suddenly narrowed. In the center of the tombstone, a rule god stone appeared.
For the master!
Yu Yi's voice rang out in the air, the voice ethereal, his last words. This was his war trophy, preserved until now, to be presented to his master. Rule god stones only have two sources. One is from heavenly venerables. Their rule worlds can produce rule god stones, though production is difficult and quantities are extremely small. The other is from the great world, naturally produced, with even fewer in number. Rule god stones have many uses and are extremely precious due to their scarcity. Clearly, he had discovered this rule god stone back then and engaged in a great battle for it. Although he was ultimately defeated, he still managed to snatch the rule god stone. If it were before, Lin Moyu would not have been able to touch the rule god stone. Touching it once would have meant death. Now Lin Moyu was already at the other shore realm, with all his law powers elevated. He was now qualified to touch the rule god stone. Rule power surged as he reached out to take the rule god stone. The entire process was smooth, without any danger. Holding the rule god stone, Lin Moyu couldn't help but sigh.
What a pity your master is no longer here.
Yui was loyal enough to think of his master even at the moment of his death. But alas, the vicissitudes of life are hard to predict. Who could have imagined that the great world would evolve into its current state? The Netherworld swamp was refined after one day, disappearing from space along with the yellow earth desert. Lin Moyu obtained the 10th world crystal. All 10 world crystals were wrapped by the world tree, forming a star, shining brightly in his soul world. Looking at the 10 world crystals in his soul world, Lin Moyu suddenly had an impulse.
It's time to construct the rule world.
Once this thought arose, it began to grow rapidly, impossible to suppress. At his current level, his soul would often produce some strange sensations, giving him premonitions about the future. Lin Moyu's soul was extremely sensitive, his spiritual perception incredibly powerful, giving him premonitions about dangers and the future. These premonitions were usually very accurate in most cases. Now he had a sudden impulse, feeling that the conditions were ripe and he could now construct his rule world. A space gate opened, and Lin Moyu stepped into it, disappearing. 2280. Chapter 2280. Want to take another look at the Realm C, the true core of the human race's star region, where the Human Emperor Network's main body is located. Many other shore realm cultivators were cultivating here. In recent years, with the human race's fortune at its peak, many peak divine sovereigns have broken through. They then crossed the Starry River via the blood path to the other shore, achieving the other shore realm. The number of other shore realm cultivators has increased considerably, now approaching 200. However, everyone understands that for a long period to come, the number of newly promoted other shore realm cultivators will decrease significantly. The war has ended, and the blood path to the other shore can no longer be opened. To advance to the other shore realm in the future, one can only rely on crossing the Starry River by oneself. That will take much longer, at least several hundred years. The Human Emperor has also notified the high-level divine sovereigns about this matter, telling them to consolidate their foundations at the divine sovereign realm as much as possible. This way, they can smoothly advance to the other shore realm. This has both advantages and disadvantages. Although the number of people has decreased, their strength has increased. Cultivators who cross to the other shore through their own efforts will have combat power exceeding their predecessors by a margin, and their future path will also be broader. Space slightly distorted, and a space gate appeared in the starry sky. Lin Moyu stepped out. Many people saw Lin Moyu, but only for an instant. After Lin Moyu came out, he took another step and disappeared. Some people's eyes flashed with envy.
Space laws truly enviable. With space laws, Mr. Lin can truly come and go as he pleases, unrestrained by anything. Unfortunately, such laws are too difficult. It's not something we can master. Forget about space laws. It's already good enough if we can fully understand our own laws. When we become holy venerables, then we can think about other things. Compare yourself to yourself, not to others.
Other shore realm cultivators have firm Tao hearts and are not easily influenced. Admiration is just a natural reaction, and in the end, it's just a topic of conversation. Coming to the back of the Human Emperor network, Lin Moyu slightly bowed to the Human Emperor.
Elder Human Emperor, I'm going to construct my rule world now.
The Human Emperor's projection appeared before Lin Moyu. He sensed Lin Moyu's rule power and said in a deep voice,
Your rule world already has a form. The promotion should be quite smooth.
Lin Moyu shook his head.
The rule world I want to construct might be a bit different. The time needed probably won't be too short.
The Human Emperor said,
The human race's side has been pacified. You can focus on your closed-door cultivation. We can handle anything that comes up.
Lin Moyu nodded slightly, turned around, and entered the cultivation room to start cultivating. This place is where the Human Emperor's power is strongest. No matter how much disturbance Lin Moyu causes, the Human Emperor can control it. Lin Moyu can cultivate with peace of mind. He didn't activate the time formation. Constructing a rule world is completely self-elevation. There can't be any external influence. In ancient times, whether one could go further depended heavily on the rule world. So Lin Moyu had made full preparations before formally starting the promotion. His gaze swept across his entire soul world. The soul world was filled with rule power, which had already evolved into the form of a rule world. For ordinary other shore realm cultivators, once the soul evolves into the form of a rule world, becoming a holy venerable is a certainty. They only need to make some minor modifications to turn the form into a rule world. But Lin Moyu is different. He wants to make major changes and upgrades to the rule world. The entire process can almost be described as starting over from scratch. Moreover, Lin Moyu doesn't want to make modifications bit by bit. A perfect level rule world doesn't exist in small increments. It must be achieved in one step. Furthermore, he wants to surpass the perfect level and reach another level.
Star refining of laws, 9,921 stars. Still 79 stars short of 10,000. 1 star every 10 days, it will take just over 2 years. I'll use these 2 years to rehearse well and make up for any deficiencies.
Lin Moyu's soul spread out his palm, and the world tree sprinkled soul power, forming a soul light ball on his palm. The situation in the light ball was almost identical to that in his soul. Lin Moyu began to simulate the form of the rule world in this small world he created. At first, he had already thought about what his rule world should look like. He wanted to construct his rule world using the Great World as a template. Later, after experiencing the Realm Sea, Lin Moyu's ideas changed. He found that the Great World was too small. The Great World was just a drop in the ocean of the Realm Sea. He wanted to add the Realm Sea to his rule world, but he didn't know how to add it. Mainly because he didn't know what was beyond the Realm Sea. Without knowing, he could only rely on his imagination.
If only I could go to the Realm Sea again.
Lin Moyu looked at the Realm Seashell. The aura of the Realm Seashell had recovered somewhat. Lin Moyu was secretly delighted.
Perhaps there really is a chance to take another look.
The soul light ball in his palm began to change. It was changing according to Lin Moyu's will. The 10,000 star points inside, the position of the world tree, the area of the spell stars were all changing one by one. How to arrange them to be more perfect, more powerful. A team from the human race entered the territory of the star skyfish race. Holy Venerable Hao personally went, and Yuchibi was prepared for Holy Venerable Hao's arrival. Lin Moyu had told him, and Yu Qingru had also mentioned it after returning. He knew that Holy Venerable Hao had two matters for this visit. One was about Yu Qingrou's marriage, which he had already agreed to. As for the other matter, Yuchibi didn't know, but Yu Qingru knew. She just hadn't said anything, waiting for Holy Venerable Hao to speak about it personally. Yu Qingru only said that this matter was very important, concerning the life and death of the race. Yuchibi had to take it seriously. After meeting with Holy Venerable Hao, he dismissed everyone, and the two talked for a long time. 2 days later, Holy Venerable Hao left, and Yuchibi called over the two grand elders and talked for a long time again. Another day passed, and Yuchibi issued a clan leader's order, commanding all other shore realm elders to go to the outer realm. What exactly they were going to do in the outer realm, only those other shore realm elders knew. Not just the other shore realm, even the two grand elders set out going to the outer realm together. For a time, only Yuchibi, the clan leader, remained in the star sky fish race, while all other shore realm and holy venerable cultivators had left. The azure sea waves lapped against the shore. Yu Qingru stood there, gazing at the sea. The sea was the star sky fish race's favorite scenery, and Yu Qingru often gazed at the ocean. Yuchibi found Yu Qingru.
Qingru, you don't blame me, do you?
Yu Qingru shook her head.
I don't blame you, clan leader. Besides, I agreed to this myself.
She knew what Yuchibi meant. In many people's eyes, she had become a trade item. Someone had used a supreme realm treasure with inheritance to buy her. Yu Qingru already knew about what had happened when Lin Mohan and Lin Moyu came that day. After hearing about it, she didn't have much emotional fluctuation. This was something she was willing to do, and when faced with racial interests, there was nothing that couldn't be traded. Even if she was a princess, it was the same. There are no deals that can't be made, only prices that can't be agreed upon. If the price is right, anything can be sold. If someone said that they could make someone in the star sky fish race become a supreme, but the price was Yuchibi's life, Yuchibi would go to his death without hesitation. This was how Yuchibi was, everything for the sake of the race. Yuchibi said,
If you have any requests, just say them. I will grant them all.
Yu Qingru smiled slightly.
Thank you, clan leader. Qingru has no requests. This is my own choice.
Yuchibi said,
If he bullies you, just come back. This will always be your home.
Yu Qingru smiled, her eyes flashing with happiness.
Don't worry, clan leader. He won't.
2281 2281. Chapter 2281. The great world sinking into the realm sea. Seeing a part can reveal the whole. Yu Qingru believed she had not misjudged this person. Lin Moyu could carry the sleeping coffin with him, wanting to change fate for his wives. Such a person was worth entrusting herself to. Thinking of Lin Moyu, Yu Qingrou's eyes showed a hint of tenderness. She softly murmured,
What are you doing now?
In the cultivation room next to the human emperor's main body, Lin Moyu had been sitting in meditation for over 2 years. The soul light ball in his palm repeatedly shattered and reformed, constantly being adjusted as he simulated new configurations. Lin Moyu continuously adjusted his rule world, wanting to create one that surpassed perfection. Any flaw, no matter how small, had to be corrected. The entire world needed to have both substance and void, symmetry and balance. There were too many things to consider. It was not like ordinary rule worlds that could be casually constructed. After 2 years of simulation, Lin Moyu had gained some insights. There were actually 2 directions holy venerables could take when constructing rule worlds. One was extreme simplicity, like Lin Mohan's rule world, which was just a single sword, nothing else. The direction he chose was complexity, extreme complexity. He simulated the great world, constructing countless galaxies and star rivers, even wanting to simulate the realm sea. The 2 directions couldn't be said to be stronger or weaker, only more suitable for different individuals. Lin Mohan was suited for extreme simplicity, Any problem could be solved with one sword strike. He was suited for complexity, meticulous planning for everything, leaving no gaps. Just as the star refining of laws was about to condense 10,000 stars, the realm seashell finally became usable again.
I'll take another look at the realm sea, see the world outside. Hopefully I can gain something.
Lin Moyu thought to himself as he activated the realm seashell with all his might. How long one could stay in the realm sea depended entirely on one's strength. The stronger one was, the longer they could remain. Previously, he had only stayed for 10 minutes before returning. This time, he should be able to stay much longer. As the realm sea shell activated, the sound of waves filled his ears. The aura of the realm sea spread from Lin Moyu's body, flowing out of the cultivation room. The human emperor immediately sensed it. His half-step supreme power erupted, interfering with reality to directly block all the aura. The human emperor appeared in front of the cultivation room, murmuring,
Has he gone to the realm sea?
His eyes showed a hint of reminiscence. He had once been Xiao Zhantian, and had been to the realm sea several times. He was very familiar with its aura. He knew Lin Moyu had gone to the realm sea, but didn't know what he intended to do there. Lin Moyu had been in closed cultivation for 2 years, with no change in his aura. Constructing a rule world was not easy. Being in closed cultivation for decades or even centuries was normal. 2 years was nothing. The human emperor sighed deeply.
Though I don't know why you've gone to the realm sea, I hope you can gain something.
The familiar sound and unique aura made it unforgettable once experienced. This was the realm sea, the miraculous sea that carried the great world and countless other worlds like it. Lin Moyu stood in the air, looking down at the great world. Compared to his previous visit, he felt the great world seemed slightly larger. Looking into the distance, he saw another world approaching, the battle realm. The distance between the two worlds had shortened somewhat since last time. After observing for a while, he determined the time. About 1,100 years remained before the two would collide. Besides this, the great world would not encounter any other worlds for now. After confirming the distance to the battle realm, Lin Moyu didn't hesitate and immediately flew towards the distance. He wanted to see more of the realm sea in the limited time he had. He hoped to find some references to make his rule world even more perfect. Here, space laws were difficult to use, so he could only fly. After flying less than 10,000 meters, Lin Moyu's body suddenly stopped. His soul warned him that if he went any further, he would never be able to return. This feeling was similar to getting lost in the soul void. If he went too far, he would be completely lost here. Getting lost would mean death. Lin Moyu didn't dare risk his life. He immediately changed direction and flew elsewhere. After several tests, he knew 10,000 meters was his limit. He couldn't leave the great world by more than that distance.
Given the size of the great world, the 10,000-meter area I can move in is actually quite vast. In the realm sea, the diameter of the great world is only about 100 meters. A 10,000-meter range is enough to contain many great worlds. Unfortunately, the realm sea is too empty. There's nothing within 10,000 meters.
Lin Moyu's eyes showed some disappointment. He hadn't seen what he needed. Within 10,000 meters, there was nothing but rolling waves. The battle realm was still very far away, beyond 10,000 meters. After searching for a while and spending several minutes with no results, Lin Moyu felt somewhat disappointed. But just as he was about to give up, Lin Moyu finally made a discovery. No matter how the great world rose and fell, it actually remained tightly attached to the realm sea. No matter how big the waves were, the area of the great world submerged in the realm sea never changed. It wouldn't sink any deeper, nor would it rise any higher. Looking towards the distant battle realm, Lin Moyu found it was the same. It was as if the two worlds were fixed in place, which was very strange. Lin Moyu recalled what Vermilion Bird had once said: how deeply a world sank into the realm sea was related to its strength. The deeper a world sank, the higher the upper limit of strength for beings inside it. Only when half-submerged could a world produce heavenly venerables. And the size of a world determined the number of powerful beings.
So the extent a world sinks into the realm sea is fixed. It can't become more or less. What does the part of the great world submerged in the realm sea look like?
Lin Moyu looked at the realm sea, his eyes flickering. He quickly made a decision. He decided to take a look inside the realm sea. Last time he had felt it was too dangerous, that he would likely die if he entered. Now his strength was incomparable to before. He felt he might be able to take a look. Time and space laws couldn't be used here. Only the undying law could still be used somewhat, but limited to the portion he possessed. He couldn't summon the Law Star River or replenish it. Lin Moyu used the undying law with death power outside and life power inside, as he sank into the realm sea. As soon as he touched the realm sea, terrifying power surged towards him. The power of the realm sea was like a heavy hammer, striking Lin Moyu repeatedly. Each strike was comparable to a holy venerable's full power attack, incredibly terrifying. The death power could only offset part of the realm sea's impact. A significant amount of force still landed directly on his body. The undying golden body automatically activated. A layer of flames flowed over his skin, glowing brightly in the realm sea. The undying golden body glowed brightly, blocking the remaining impact from the realm sea. The realm sea's impact affected not just his physical body, but also his soul. His soul world also rumbled loudly. Waves appeared outside his soul world, crashing against it one after another. Lin Moyu's soul had reached the supreme realm. His soul world was even more solid than his physical body, withstanding the realm sea's impact.
It seems that as long as one can reach half-step supreme, they can withstand the realm sea's impact for a period of time. At the supreme realm, one can basically ignore the impact of the realm sea.
Back when Xiao Zhantian searched for opportunities in the realm sea, he was at half-step supreme, which corroborated Lin Moyu's judgment. The realm sea was fatal to those at the other shore realm. Holy venerables could persist for a while, half-step supremes could last even longer, and supremes could ignore it. Although Lin Moyu's realm was only at other shore, his strength was formidable. He could likewise persist in the realm sea for a period of time. Confirming there was no danger, he sank into the realm sea, finally seeing the lower half of the great world. Lin Moyu's eyes instantly changed, filled with shock.
So it's like this.
2282 Chapter 2282. The undying undead failed. The part of the great world below the realm sea was completely different from the part above. The great world below the realm sea was not the darkness one might imagine. The power of the great world was like a large ship in the realm sea, entangled with strong forces, supporting itself. This force was far stronger than imagined. Lin Moyu felt he would die if he touched it.
This is the power of the void.
The void power scattered with a colorful glow, intertwining like a dream, yet extremely dangerous. The void power not only supported the great world, but also continuously drew power from the realm sea to replenish itself. However, while absorbing power, it would also consume most of it. This consumed power would then support various worlds, drifting in the realm sea. Normally, the absorbed portion would be greater than the consumed portion. The excess power could then strengthen the world itself. The power in the realm sea was perfect, with void and reality intertwining, able to strengthen the world's origin. As the world grew stronger, it would absorb more power, and at the same time its consumption would also increase. This was originally how the great world worked. It not only absorbed power from the realm sea to strengthen its origin, but also absorbed the origins of many worlds, making itself increasingly powerful. However, after the ancient war, the great world's origin was damaged. The power it could absorb became weaker and weaker, while consumption remained unchanged. There was no longer excess power to repair itself. Now, it could barely maintain a balance between income and expenditure. But the power of the realm sea would continue to surge in. This power that wasn't absorbed but surged into the great world was like a poison to the great world. It would absorb less and less power, and more poison would surge in. The origin would continue to be consumed, and the upper limit it could support would decrease accordingly. There would no longer be heavenly venerables or supremes in the great world. Eventually, the entire great world would shatter as it expanded. Lin Moyu had once wondered why the great world had to keep expanding. Wouldn't it be better if it didn't expand? Could even shrink itself? Wouldn't that prevent the world from being destroyed? Now Lin Moyu finally understood. The expansion of the great world was a rule of the realm sea. No world could stop. If the origin of the great world couldn't be repaired, it would eventually shatter, like a balloon. It would inflate to its maximum size, then pop with a bang. Seeing this scene, Lin Moyu also fully understood what form his rule world should take. He had completed the final piece of the puzzle for his rule world.
What's this?
Suddenly, a bright light entered his vision, coming from the depths of the realm sea. The realm sea was dark, with no light sources other than the colorful glow of the great world. This suddenly appearing light source was very eye-catching. Lin Moyu knew there were treasures in the realm sea. These treasures might come from worlds outside the realm sea, or from other shattered worlds. Xiao Zhantian had obtained a technological treasure in the realm sea, which ultimately turned him into the human emperor, protecting the human race for tens of thousands of years. Lin Moyu quickly headed towards the bottom of the sea, hoping the bottom wasn't too deep, not exceeding 10,000 meters. Strong pressure came from all directions. The deeper he went into the realm sea, the greater the pressure became. The undying golden body began to tremble, barely able to hold on. Lin Moyu had an idea. The bone hell appeared, helping to protect him. His soul world was more solid. After all, it was at the supreme realm soul, able to withstand the impact. After sinking several thousand meters, the light became brighter. Lin Moyu finally saw the source of the light. The source of the light was a gemstone. Lin Moyu sensed dense origin power from it.
Origin crystal.
Lin Moyu was overjoyed. His luck was so good, he got exactly what he was thinking about. When constructing the rule world, if he could have origin power to enhance it, the effect would surely be better. The essence of world crystals was actually origin power. After being refined by the world-burning fire, the attributes of various worlds were removed, leaving only pure origin power. It's just that the amount of origin power was too small. Whether it was from broken worlds or rule worlds left by supremes, there was only a tiny bit of origin power. The origin crystal before him contained much more origin power. This one was equivalent to 10 world crystals. Lin Moyu suddenly felt very wealthy, becoming rich in an instant. Endless desire grew in his soul. Lin Moyu really wanted to obtain this origin crystal. Whether for his ambitions for the rule world or hopes for the future, he was determined to get this origin crystal. He quickly approached the origin crystal, seemingly forgetting the distance between him and the great world. He was getting further and further from the great world. 5,000 meters, 7,000 meters, 9,000 meters.
Danger! Danger! Danger!
His soul suddenly issued a warning. The world tree shook violently, and the 10-colored dragon soul crystal also erupted with bursts of dragon cries. Lin Moyu suddenly woke up.
Something's not right, not right.
He looked horrified. His state just now was completely wrong. Even if he was attracted by the origin crystal, he shouldn't have become like this. Moreover, the origin crystal wasn't that far away. As he chased the origin crystal, it seemed to be constantly moving away, attracting him to follow.
There's a problem with the origin crystal.
Lin Moyu stopped. At this point, he was almost 10,000 meters away from the great world. If he went any further, he might completely lose connection with the great world. In the vast realm sea, once he lost connection, it would be very difficult to find his way back. Lin Moyu stopped thinking about the origin crystal and quickly returned. Just as he turned to return to the great world, the origin crystal suddenly moved. The origin crystal shone brightly, rapidly expanding before his eyes. The origin power became even stronger, producing an even greater temptation, trying to attract Lin Moyu again. But this time Lin Moyu was prepared. He guarded his soul and wasn't affected. With the light emitted by the origin crystal, Lin Moyu finally saw clearly. Behind the origin crystal was a terrifying beast, a beast of the realm sea. This beast looked ferocious, appearing like a strange fish, its body covered in spikes. On its head was a tentacle, with the origin crystal hanging at the tip, like a lantern. The strange fish in the realm sea used the origin crystal to attract prey. When the prey moved far from their world, it would launch an attack and kill them. Beings who could come to the realm sea were not weak, at least at the Holy Venerable realm. Holy Venerables had an instinctive desire for origin crystals, which it took advantage of.
This strange fish has intelligence.
Lin Moyu's heart skipped a beat, but he didn't want to fight the strange fish at this time. He was too far from the great world and needed to get closer first. Moreover, the realm sea was not a suitable place for battle. This was the strange fish's home turf. Fighting the strange fish here offered no advantages. If there was a chance, he would try to obtain the origin crystal again. If he couldn't get it, then so be it. Seeing that Lin Moyu was no longer chasing the origin crystal, the strange fish suddenly pursued him. It was very fast, much faster than Lin Moyu. It wouldn't take long to catch up. Lin Moyu didn't want to tangle with it. He wanted to get closer to the great world first. In the realm sea, he couldn't use spatial laws, and his speed was limited. Otherwise, he could cover a distance of just a few thousand meters in the blink of an eye. As the strange fish got closer, Lin Moyu had an idea. Skeleton god generals appeared in the realm sea. The skeleton god generals swung out sword energy, but the sword energy was quickly dissolved by the power of the realm sea. By the time it reached the strange fish, there was little power left. The remaining sword energy hit the strange fish, making a sound like striking iron. The spikes on the strange fish's body suddenly opened, shooting out countless water lines. The water lines penetrated the realm sea, hitting the skeleton god generals, instantly shattering them. Lin Moyu was shocked again. The destroyed skeleton god generals couldn't revive. The undying undead had failed. 2283 2283. Chapter 2283. There are opportunities and dangers in the realm sea. The undying undead failed. The undying undead, which had always been infallible, actually failed. This was the first time Lin Moyu had encountered this, and he couldn't help but be shocked. After a brief thought, he roughly understood why.
Is it because of being in the realm sea? Spells from the great world can't be used outside the great world. The strength of spells actually also requires the support of origin and rule power. Without origin, they become useless. In the realm sea, there is no origin or rules from the great world, so my undying undead lost its effect. However, the undying golden body, having once obtained the power of the origin flame, still has extremely strong abilities even outside the great world. Although the bone hell hasn't received origin power, it possesses the power of void and reality, so it can still have some effect. Besides these, other spells are weakened to some extent, with poor effects.
In the realm sea, the undying undead indeed had no use, but fortunately, spells could still be used, and the number of skeleton god generals was still there. Against the strange fish, using them as meat shields to block for a while was not a problem. The strange fish's strength was unknown, and Lin Moyu didn't want to tangle with it in the realm sea. He summoned a large number of skeleton god generals to block behind him, while he quickly flew towards the great world. The strange fish continuously shot out water lines, killing large numbers of skeleton god generals. There were too many skeleton god generals to kill them all. Seeing Lin Moyu getting closer and closer to the great world, the strange fish clearly became anxious. It opened its huge mouth, and the origin crystal hanging in front of its head radiated colorful light. Boom! A terrifyingly powerful soul attack directly fell on Lin Moyu. His soul world violently shook, the entire soul world becoming distorted and deformed, as if it might shatter at any moment. The world tree extended countless vines to stabilize the soul world, and the 10-colored dragon soul crystal also spewed out powerful dragon breath. Working together with the world tree to maintain the soul world, starlight flickered in the soul world, with nearly 10,000 stars simultaneously radiating light. With the three working together, they finally stabilized the soul world.
So strong!
Lin Moyu was shocked again in his heart. He had still underestimated the strange fish. Just this soul attack alone meant the strange fish's strength was not much inferior to a supreme. If it were in the great world, he could still fight it, but in the realm sea it was better to save his strength and not bother. Lin Moyu felt his choice was correct, not to engage in a great battle with the strange fish in the realm sea. The skeleton god generals behind him became more and more numerous, densely packed, filling a large area of the sea, firmly blocking between himself and the strange fish. Lin Moyu got closer and closer to the great world. Gradually, he began to feel the origin power of the great world. The light of the great world shone on him, giving Lin Moyu a feeling of returning to the mother's body. At this moment, the undying undead suddenly became usable again. The previously killed skeleton god generals couldn't be revived, but those dying now could be revived to fight again. Lin Moyu knew his judgment was not wrong. Whether the undying undead worked or not depended on origin power. It was the origin power of the great world that gave the undying undead its miraculous effect. However, with the change in the undying undead, Lin Moyu also thought of another issue, whether his talents would still work after leaving the great world. Especially the rebirth talent, which was his biggest trump card for survival. If the rebirth talent no longer worked, then he would have to be extremely careful when facing dangers in the future. Lin Moyu became extremely vigilant in his heart.
The realm sea is indeed very dangerous.
He got closer and closer to the great world. When he was only 2,000 meters away, the strange fish suddenly stopped and no longer pursued. The origin crystal in front of its head radiated light like a lantern, interweaving with the colorful light of the great world. The strange fish stared fixedly at Lin Moyu, its gaze cold, without any emotion.
Not chasing anymore? Is it because of the origin power of the great world?
Lin Moyu discovered that where the strange fish stopped was just outside the range covered by the great world's origin power. Both sides had origin power, but clearly the great world's origin power was stronger. The strange fish was unwilling to approach the great world, so it stopped. Lin Moyu glanced at it, then continued approaching the great world. Seeing Lin Moyu getting closer and closer to the great world, the strange fish knew it could no longer eat him. It turned and swam away, quickly disappearing. Lin Moyu passed by the edge of the great world, sticking close to the great world as he left the realm sea. The time he spent in the realm sea had almost reached the limit of what his defenses could withstand. He couldn't continue to endure the impact of the realm sea's power. He rushed out of the realm sea and only gradually relaxed after standing in the air above the great world. Even now, he still felt lingering fear. If his soul's sensitivity had been a bit worse and hadn't sent a danger warning, he might have really died. Only now, with the great world's protection, did he feel at ease.
Although there are opportunities in the realm sea, there are also dangers. With my current abilities, I still can't move freely in the realm sea. One careless moment could lead to death and destruction of the Tao. Although I didn't obtain the origin crystal on this realm sea trip, I saw the other side of the great world, completing the final piece of the puzzle for the real world.
Lin Moyu thought to himself that the realm sea trip was actually quite fruitful. The origin crystal was just an accident, and not obtaining it wasn't disappointing. Gain what one can, lose what one must. Some things can be strived for, but can't be forced. Calculating the time, he had been in the realm sea for over 10 minutes, already exceeding the previous time. Time in the realm sea flowed 10,000 times faster. These 10+ minutes meant quite a few days had passed in the great world. Lin Moyu felt that in a little while he should return. He observed the worlds in the realm sea again, hoping to discover something. Suddenly, Lin Moyu's heart tightened.
The small world.
He suddenly sensed the small world. Following the connection between them, he saw a tiny light cluster in the waves about 10,000 meters away from the great world. The light cluster was extremely small, its volume not even 1/10,000th of the great world. But the light cluster was very complete, a real world.
The small world really came to the realm C.
The sudden appearance of the small world verified Lin Moyu's previous guess. The small world had really come to the realm C. Although the small world was very small, it was quite complete. It tumbled in the waves of the realm C, disappearing in the blink of an eye. The connection between Lin Moyu and it was also broken at this point. The realm C's time flowed 10,000 times faster. Staying in the realm C for just a few seconds meant several tens of thousands of seconds had passed in the Great World. This also perfectly verified what Lin Moyu had previously seen in the Great World. The day and a half when the small world disappeared was actually just a few seconds in the realm C. It constantly alternated between the realm C and the Great World, existing in the realm C for longer and longer periods, and in the Great World for shorter and shorter times. It was gradually separating from the Great World, until it completely entered the realm C, no longer having any connection with the Great World. Watching the small world where he was born about to leave, Lin Moyu's emotions were complex. He couldn't clearly describe exactly what kind of emotion it was.
Antares, you untrustworthy bastard. You said you'd come out in a few hundred years, but now...
Lin Moyu said word by word, viciously,
If you have the guts, never come out. Otherwise, see how I'll beat you up.
2284 2284. Chapter 2284. Constructing the Rule World. Lin Moyu's journey to the realm C lasted a total of 20 minutes this time. Exactly double the previous time. 20 minutes in the realm C equaled 200,000 minutes in the Great World. Nearly 140 days. These 140 days were very fruitful for Lin Moyu. Not only did he witness the dangers in the realm C, but he also completed the final piece of the puzzle for his rule world. Finally, he saw the small world where he was born, confirming that the small world was indeed separating from the great world. This great power that could separate the small world from the great world had completely surpassed his imagination. This power far exceeded that of heavenly venerables, perhaps even reaching the level of Tao venerables. He could be certain that heavenly venerables did not have this ability. The star refining of laws was still continuing, with only the last bit remaining before reaching 10,000 stars. Back then, when that Supreme created the star refining of laws, the ancient war broke out soon after, and he was severely injured in the war. Even he himself had never produced 10,000 stars, and no one knew exactly what the effect of 10,000 stars would be. Lin Moyu felt some anticipation in his heart. At the same time, he once again simulated what he had gained in the realm C, making final improvements to the form of his rule world. After more than 10 days, the 10,000 stars finally took shape. Starlight flickered, radiating brilliant auroras that enveloped the entire soul world. The vast soul world became completely illuminated, with auroras interweaving, reflecting a myriad of colors, making the entire soul world incredibly splendid. The starlight carried powerful force, causing the entire soul world to become stronger. Quantitative changes led to qualitative changes. The power of 10,000 stars interwoven together caused the strength of the entire soul world to rise sharply. Lin Moyu's heart stirred.
It's beginning.
Following the changes of the star refining of laws, Lin Moyu formally began constructing his rule world. The world tree let out a cheer, growing frantically and pouring out vast amounts of soul power into the soul world, providing ample energy for the entire world's transformation. Over so many years, who knew how much soul power the world tree had accumulated, as if waiting for this moment. With Lin Moyu's thoughts, the rule world that already had a form now began changing frantically. The previous form was demolished, and everything started anew. Vast soul power constructed a brand new rule world. The rule world still used the great world as a template, but Lin Moyu made changes to it. The rule world was divided into inner and outer layers, similar to the inner and outer realms of the great world. The outer layer was larger than the inner layer, but had fewer resources. Lin Moyu took 3,000 of the 10,000 stars, grouping them into sets of 10 to form 300 galaxies, evenly distributed in the outer region. The remaining 7,000 stars were grouped into sets of 100 to form massive galaxies, distributed in the inner region. His soul body and the world tree were located in the core area. The branches and leaves of the world tree penetrated through space, extending outwards. Though invisible, they actually covered the entire rule world. It could be said that the entire rule world was under the world tree's canopy. This was what Lin Moyu had planned from the beginning. The world tree would be the core of the entire rule world. With the general areas divided, the outline of the rule world had taken shape. Next came the details. One by one, spell stars descended, becoming suns, white dwarfs, and neutron stars. They existed independently, becoming the most powerful stars in the rule world. Whether in the outer or inner layer, all 10,000 stars would provide energy for them. The spell stars were Lin Moyu's core, the most important existence, irreplaceable like the world tree. The infinite fusion, which hadn't moved for a long time, stirred again. It flew chaotically throughout the rule world, scattering misty fog wherever it went. The fog was very faint, almost invisible. However, Lin Moyu could feel that wherever the fog reached, all the stars underwent changes. Their starlight seemed to have gained a conductor, with all starlight under the command of the infinite fusion. The infinite fusion gathered large amounts of starlight together, finally dividing it equally among the spell stars. It was like an emperor rewarding his subordinates, with an attitude of supreme loftiness. Lin Moyu ignored it, knowing it wouldn't cause trouble, and continued with his own work. He placed the spell stars in suitable areas. They appeared somewhat scattered, but were actually in perfect order, all arranged around his soul body and the world tree. Thus, a structure was formed with the soul body and world tree at the center, spell stars in the second layer, 7,000 stars in the third layer, and 3,000 stars in the outermost layer. The entire structure was like a large net, becoming tighter and stronger towards the center. And through the world tree that penetrated the entire rule world, the power from the center could be supplied to the outside at any time. It appeared loose but was actually extremely tight. Lin Moyu was imitating the Great World. The Great World used a rune as its core, while he used the world tree as his core. Of course, the current world tree was far from comparable to the Great World's rune, but Lin Moyu believed his rule world could continue to grow, and one day might rival the Great World. Powerful rule power was born in the rule world, quickly filling every corner. At this point, the rule world already exuded an aura of perfection, with almost no flaws to be found. This kind of rule world was called perfect level in ancient times. Relying on the 10,000 stars of the star refining of laws, Lin Moyu had constructed a perfect level rule world without even using the world crystals. The goal was achieved ahead of schedule, but Lin Moyu was not satisfied. He wanted to break through the fixed notions of the three realms. Lin Moyu murmured to himself,
With a substantial side, the rule world should also have an insubstantial side. Only by combining substance and void can the rule world be considered a true world.
With a thought, the bone hell naturally appeared. This was the first time Lin Moyu had released the bone hell in his soul world. The bone hell itself already possessed the characteristics of substance and void, combining the powers of both. Following Lin Moyu's thoughts, the bone hell began to merge with the entire rule world, becoming the insubstantial side of the rule world. This was just a temporary measure, far from true combination of substance and void. Lin Moyu had not yet mastered the power of void, so for now he could only imitate. The newly formed rule world began to rumble. The bone hell continuously sank, descending to the bottom of the rule world. Just like the realm sea, it supported the rule world from the bottom. He had thought before that the rule world needed to combine substance and void, but didn't know exactly how to do it. How to integrate the power of void into his own rule world. After entering the realm sea, he suddenly understood that it wasn't as complicated as he had imagined. The realm sea provided the most suitable answer. The bone hell spread out at the bottom of the rule world, merging with it and becoming the void aspect of the rule world. Rivers of hellfire flowed out from the bone hell into the rule world. The fire rivers were like the realm sea, continuously rising until they occupied 1/3 of the entire rule world. All stars engulfed by the fire rivers were imbued with the power of void, gaining both substantial and insubstantial aspects. The rule world gained a small amount of the power of substance and void, rumbling incessantly and becoming stronger, seemingly on the verge of a breakthrough. It continued to rumble but couldn't break through for a long time. It was still lacking something. It lacked origin power. The great world could no longer provide Lin Moyu with enough origin power, but fortunately, Lin Moyu was prepared. With a thought, the world tree let out a cheer, and 10 world crystals flew out simultaneously, coming before Lin Moyu. The world-burning fire flickered, quickly melting the 10 world crystals and releasing powerful origin power. 2285, 2285. Chapter 2285. Breaking through the world barrier. The rule world, nourished by origin power, shook more violently. Strong origin aura surged turbulently in the rule world, sweeping through it like a fierce storm. All the stars were imbued with origin power, becoming more powerful. The starlight also grew stronger, sprinkling origin power into every corner. Almost every beam of starlight contained traces of origin power. With abundant origin power, the rule world kept shaking nonstop. Vibrant vitality appeared in the rule world. With the world tree already present, Lin Moyu's rule world was never desolate. But now the vitality grew even stronger. All the stars, nourished by origin power, showed signs of life, beginning to give birth to plants. The emergence of life in a rule world was the exclusive feature of Supreme Realm rule worlds, unattainable by holy venerables. The reason was that Supreme Rule worlds had integrated origin power. Only origin power could evolve life. Origin was the source of everything, the origin of life. Lin Moyu used 10 world crystals to temporarily replace the great world's origin. In the future, when he truly becomes a supreme, he will use the great world's origin to integrate into the rule world a second time, accomplishing at the holy venerable realm what could only be done at the supreme realm. Lin Moyu's rule world had already surpassed the perfect level, beyond description. Under the nourishment of origin power, the rule world continued to grow stronger and stronger. Lin Moyu's finger moved slightly, beginning to draw runes. He drew quickly, producing a large number of ancient runes, one after another, non-stop. The ancient runes flew from his fingertips, exploding when they reached their predetermined positions. The ancient runes merged into the rule world. These runes could make the rule world more powerful and more stable. Lin Moyu drew the ancient runes without relying on the power of the great world, but completely using his own origin power. Even if he went to the Realm Sea in the future, the ancient runes he drew would still be usable. The ancient runes reinforced the rule world, also making it more harmonious. Under the effect of the ancient runes, the powers of void and reality merged almost perfectly, making Lin Moyu's rule world a combination of void and reality, like a true world. As Lin Moyu continued to add ancient runes, the rule world kept evolving, its strength constantly increasing. Constructing a rule world was not a task that could be completed in a day. After the general framework was complete, there were still many details to be supplemented. Lin Moyu thought to himself,
There's still a lot to do next.
just the ancient runes alone would require thousands or tens of thousands. He had his work cut out for him. His realm had already reached Holy Venerable when the rule world took shape. The aura of a Holy Venerable burst out of the cultivation room, but was blocked by the human emperor. Judging from the aura, Lin Moyu's Holy Venerable status was extraordinary. Although the human emperor couldn't see clearly, he could sense Lin Moyu's uniqueness. He passed this news to Old Star, who quickly came to the human emperor's side to sense Lin Moyu's aura together. Old Star said in a deep voice,
His rule world is very strong, stronger than both of ours.
The human emperor said,
I suspect his rule world is at the perfect level.
Old Star sighed,
A perfect level rule world was rare even in ancient times. In our era, he's probably the only one.
The human emperor had a different opinion.
Not just him. Lin Mohan and Lin Mohan's rule world should also be at the perfect level.
Old Star didn't deny the human emperor's words. Lin Mohan's rule world was indeed very strong, especially since Lin Mohan could hold her own rule world in her hand and use it as a treasure. Even with their experience, it was hard to imagine. At the edge of the great world, separated by the world barrier, the realm sea lay beyond. Lin Mohan had been here for a long time, trying again and again to break through the barrier and leave the great world. But the world barrier was too strong. Even she found it difficult to break through. To leave the great world, one either needed to use treasures like the realm seashell, or use overwhelming power to forcibly break through the world barrier. In ancient times, only some extremely powerful supremes could break the world barrier and enter the realm sea. Lin Mohan's current realm was half-step supreme. Relying on the world-destroying sword, she could unleash attacks comparable to a supreme. But to break the world barrier, she was still a bit short. Lin Mohan tried again and again, never considering giving up. If one sword wasn't enough, then 2 swords, 3 swords, 100 swords, 10,000 swords. If one day wasn't enough, then 10 days, 100 days, a year, 10 years. Lin Mohan cultivated and gained insights while striking with her sword. Over these years, her realm hadn't changed, but her combat power had been steadily increasing. At this moment, she struck out with her sword again. The sword light slashed across the starry sky and hit the world barrier, making it ring loudly, as if the entire world was shaking. The world barrier still didn't break, not even showing a crack. Lin Mohan dispersed the world-destroying sword. The heaven and earth sword flew out from behind Lin Mohan, stopping in front of her. A small figure appeared on the sword body. The heaven and earth sword spirit said softly,
"The power of that sword strike, compared to 2 years ago, has increased by at least 30%. Based on the strength of the world barrier, if you can increase it by another 30%, you should be able to break through."
As the heaven and earth sword spirit, it had faced the world barrier more than once. Its old master had used it to break through the world barrier and leave the great world many times. It was very clear about the strength of the world barrier. Lin Mohan nodded.
"I know. If I go all out, I can indeed break the world barrier. But what then? The realm sea is not a friendly place. Even with my strength, I would still be in danger there. So I need to be able to easily break the world barrier without going all out. Only then am I qualified to enter the realm sea and seek my own opportunities."
The heaven and earth sword spirit frowned.
"Then what should we do?"
Lin Mohan smiled slightly.
"No rush. Perhaps we just need to wait a bit longer."
The heaven and earth sword spirit didn't understand.
"Wait for what?"
Lin Mohan smiled and said,
"Wait for little you. Wait for him to advance to Holy Venerable. By my calculations, it should be soon."
Suddenly, a rumbling sounded from deep in her bloodline. A mysterious power was born from within her body. Lin Mohan's eyes flashed with brilliance.
"It's here."
She sat down in the void, her aura beginning to rise. Blood resonance. Lin Moyu's advancement to Holy Venerable triggered blood resonance, pushing Lin Mohan's realm. With the divine path broken, unable to step onto the divine path, it was impossible to gain the recognition of the great world and obtain origin power. Without origin power, one couldn't become a supreme. This was the same for everyone. Lin Mohan indeed found it difficult to become a supreme, so she wanted to leave the great world to seek her own path. But while her realm couldn't advance, it didn't mean her combat power couldn't increase. The world-destroying sword appeared behind her, becoming sharper, its aura like a tsunami, causing endless ripples in the void. The trace of origin power in the Rule God Stone amplified the power of the world-destroying sword. Relying on blood resonance, Lin Mohan took another half-step on the path of half-step supreme, touching the true limit of half-step supreme. Although still not a supreme, her combat power had increased again. Several days later, Lin Mohan emerged from cultivation, the world-destroying sword in her hand.
"Heaven and earth sword."
With a light shout, the heaven and earth sword merged with the world-destroying sword with a soft chime. With the heaven and earth sword, the world-destroying sword became even stronger. Lin Mohan's aura grew more powerful, exploding in the starry sky, bursting out countless electric snakes.
One sword splits the sea.
Lin Moyu shouted delicately, slashing out a sword strike towards the world barrier. Unless she went all out, this was her strongest sword strike in her normal state. This sword strike was much stronger than a few days ago. A small step in realm translated to a huge boost in final combat power. This was Lin Mohan's terrifying aspect, also her confidence in fighting across realms. The sword light hit the world barrier. The world barrier rang loudly again. This time it wasn't just shaking. Spider web-like cracks appeared on it. Within the sword light, the heaven and earth sword spirit roared.
Break!
Another sword light burst out, landing on the center of the spider web for the second time. The spider web finally shattered, creating a gap that wasn't too large. Lin Moyu transformed into a beam of light, rushing into the gap and disappearing. 2286. Chapter 2286. Integrating Laws, Rule World Complete. Lin Moyu seemed to sense Lin Mohan's departure and softly said,
Sister, I wish you all the best.
His hands did not stop, continuing to construct his rule world. Using 10 world crystals as the source of power, he drew ancient runes to reinforce and strengthen the entire rule world. One by one, the ancient runes hid in the void, merging into the rule world. At this moment, Lin Moyu felt as if he had become the rune of the great world, completely controlling his own rule world. Every detail within the rule world would move according to his will. 10 years later, Lin Moyu finally stopped. For 10 years, he had continuously drawn ancient runes, not knowing how many he had drawn, arming the entire rule world to the teeth. Lin Moyu could be certain that his rule world had far surpassed the holy venerable realm. Even the rule worlds of supremes might not be as strong as his. He had seen supreme realm rule worlds before and had references for comparison. In his rule world, starlight flowed, full of vitality. Every star had vitality, seemingly capable of evolving life. Of course, this feeling was illusory, not yet at the level of truly evolving life. However, if Lin Moyu were to capture some living beings and place them inside, they could indeed survive for a long time. Lin Moyu looked around his rule world. His rule world was like a miniature version of the great world, complete with both substance and void. Powerful forces danced within the rule world, and Lin Moyu could clearly feel the strength of his rule world. If he were to use it as a weapon, it would surpass all holy venerable realm treasures.
The rule world has just taken shape and still has great potential for growth. This must be the difference from ordinary rule worlds.
Lin Moyu seemed to have an epiphany, understanding the differences between various levels of rule worlds. Trash-level rule worlds were fixed in place with no room for growth. Ordinary-level rule worlds could grow a bit, but the growth was limited, at most reaching the supreme level. Perfect-level rule worlds had great potential for growth, capable of supporting up to the heavenly venerable realm, or even the Tao venerable realm. Lin Moyu felt that his rule world seemed to have no upper limit, as if it had just been born and its future was hard to estimate.
Surpassing the perfect level, with the potential for infinite growth.
Lin Moyu smiled.
Just one last step left.
Now, the only thing left for the rule world to be fully formed was the final step. Lin Moyu's heart stirred, and 4 law star rivers simultaneously appeared. The final step was to integrate the law star rivers into the rule world. At the holy venerable realm, the law star rivers were no longer summoned when needed but were integrated into the rule world, allowing them to exist permanently. This way, even a casual strike would possess infinite power. However, integrating the law star rivers was not easy. Many holy venerables needed to spend a lot of time on it. Lin Moyu had long been prepared for this. As the law star rivers appeared, the ancient runes he had drawn earlier also emerged. The ancient runes formed an array, carrying the law star rivers, naturally guiding their power and easily integrating them into the rule world. But a new problem arose. The 4 law star rivers had different powers. They could all integrate into the rule world, but they seemed to operate independently. The Bone Hell could carry the Undying Law but couldn't simultaneously carry the time and space laws. Other spells were the same, only able to carry one law at a time. Thus, even with 4 Law Star Rivers, it was almost the same as having just one. Lin Moyu had long been prepared for this. He looked at the Infinite Fusion spell star.
It's your turn.
Spell. Infinite Fusion. The Infinite Fusion spell star flew over, scattering countless gray mist. The gray mist contained the Chaos Law, enveloping the 4 law powers and causing them to merge. Infinite Fusion was very magical, the most mysterious existence among all Lin Moyu's spell stars. Lin Moyu had once used Infinite Fusion to fuse his spells. Later, Infinite Fusion developed self-awareness, and Lin Moyu no longer interfered. If anything happened, Infinite Fusion would act on its own. But this didn't mean he couldn't use Infinite Fusion. Now, Lin Moyu actively used Infinite Fusion to merge his 4 laws into one. Under the effect of the Chaos Law, the 4 laws began to merge. The first to merge were the time and space laws. The time and space powers had long been successfully fused, and their merger was very smooth. Next, the Undying Law joined in. The Undying Law contained 2 powers, and under the effect of Infinite Fusion, it also began to merge. Lin Moyu could feel that the time and space powers, after merging with the Undying Law, became stronger. The newly fused power now had the characteristics of life and death, breaking the limitations of time and space. But when the Starlight Law also tried to merge, the power began to diminish rapidly. Lin Moyu realized something was wrong and immediately withdrew the Starlight Law. Infinite Fusion was like this. More wasn't always better. Only the right combination was best. Lin Moyu tried several times and found that the best combination was the Undying Law, Time Law, and Space Law.
The Starlight Law is too weak. It became a burden and isn't suitable for merging. However, the Starlight Law can be used for star refining, creating more stars and enhancing the real world.
Lin Moyu decided to let the Starlight Law exist independently and used ancient runes to stimulate it, just as he did when cultivating star refining. The Starlight Law absorbed starlight and gathered power, continuously producing new stars. The other 3 laws had already merged into one, elevated to rule power, and sent into every spell star. If successful, every one of his spells would have the characteristics of 3 laws. For example, the Skeleton God General's attacks would have the Undying Law, with death power to corrode enemies and life power to repair itself. It would also have time and space power, capable of traversing time and space, teleporting, and ignoring most attacks. Combined with the Bone Law that the Skeleton God General already possessed, its combat power would greatly increase. The Bone Hell would also have time and space characteristics. If it encountered the origin crystal of the Black Blood Great Realm again, even if it hid in different times and spaces, the Bone Hell could devour it. The Bone Hell could launch attacks from different times and spaces, making it impossible to escape. Of course, all this depended on successful fusion. The fused rule power tried to enter the spell stars, but the spell stars flickered and directly rejected it. The spell stars did not accept it, rejecting it outright. They kept flickering, emitting a buzzing sound, as if telling Lin Moyu,
"Can't do it."
Lin Moyu tried several times, all ending in failure. After thinking for a moment, he understood the problem. The spell stars were too weak to simultaneously carry so many laws. Lin Moyu believed his idea was correct, only lacking the strength of the spell stars. Since that was the case, it would have to wait for the future. Abandoning the idea of having spells carry multiple rules, he looked at the 4 Law Star rivers flowing happily in the rule world and let out a long breath.
Finally done.
Calculating the time, it took a total of less than 15 years, an incredibly fast speed. Others constructed their rule worlds bit by bit, taking hundreds of years. But Lin Moyu completed it all at once. 15 years was actually very short. The rule world constructed in 15 years was full of power, stronger than those built over hundreds of years by others. Mainly because he was too well prepared. The world tree had accumulated enough power over the years, and with 10 world crystals, he could complete it in one step, constructing a complete rule world. After constructing the rule world, Lin Moyu did not leave the cultivation room but took out the ancient boxes.
Let's see what's inside.
5 ancient boxes, 2 from the Holy Rune Heavenly Venerable, 2 from the Mysterious Master, and 1 from the Star Sky Fish Race. The Mysterious Master had once told him to open the boxes after reaching the Holy Venerable realm. The Holy Rune Heavenly Venerable did not mention any realm requirements, but Lin Moyu thought the boxes were similar, so he decided to open them all at the Holy Venerable realm. Now that he was a Holy Venerable, he could finally see what was inside. 2287 2287. Chapter 2287. Yu Qingru sells herself. Ancient runes flowed on the ancient box. These runes were very old, true ancient runes. These ancient runes evolved from 3-dimensional to 2-dimensional, finally engraved on the box, allowing it to withstand the passage of time without damage. However, the material of the box itself was also very high grade, otherwise it would not be able to bear the ancient runes. Such boxes were very precious in ancient times and were generally only used to store rare items. Ordinary items did not qualify to be placed inside. With Lin Moyu's current realm and understanding of runes, the ancient runes on the ancient box were no longer difficult for him. After carefully examining the box from all angles for a moment, Lin Moyu already knew how to open it. He let his soul power flow and drew an ancient rune with his fingers. This ancient rune was not complicated and corresponded exactly with the ancient runes on the ancient box. Once drawn, the rune also turned 2-dimensional and flew onto the box. The rune Lin Moyu drew merged with the runes on the box, causing the box to emit a brilliant light. With a click, the box opened, and a sharp sword light shot out from it. A world of rules appeared, and Lin Moyu summoned his own world of rules, enveloping the cultivation room and completely blocking the sword light. The sword light impacted the world of rules, causing it to shake continuously. Lin Moyu was shocked.
Sure enough, not just anything can be placed inside.
The strength of this sword light almost surpassed a full-force strike of a Saint Sovereign. If it were a weaker Saint Sovereign, their world of rules might not be able to block the sword light. The power of the sword light contained spatial power, and the space around Lin Moyu was completely sealed, as if the spatial laws had come to a halt. Lin Moyu's gaze was complex. He had already guessed what was inside the box. The first box he opened came from the Starry Sky Fishman clan, containing a sword, only the size of a palm, a soul treasure. The sword's body was crystal clear, exuding a strong sense of spatial laws. Communicating with the small sword through his soul, the small sword instantly turned virtual and appeared in the soul world. Fishman's sword can kill all members of the Fishman clan, regardless of their realm or strength, with one strike. Lin Moyu looked at the information brought by the Fishman sword, confirming his guess that this sword was meant to control the Starry Sky Fishman clan. Besides the Fishman sword, there was also a jade token in the box. Lin Moyu took the jade token and read its contents.
My name is Space Heavenly Sovereign. I extracted the essence of flying fish from the Boundary Sea and merged it with human blood to create the Starry Sky Fishman clan. A great war is about to start, and the clan I created is still weak and not suitable for the battlefield. The outcome of this war is uncertain, and I cannot guarantee my survival, so I left this item to control the clan.
Lin Moyu learned the origin of the Starry Sky Fishman clan, created by the Space Heavenly Sovereign using the essence of flying fish from the Boundary Sea and human blood. However, the clan was too weak when created and did not participate in the war. The Space Heavenly Sovereign feared he might not survive the war, so he left the Fishman sword to control the clan. The ancient box could only be opened with runes, which only humans could master, so the Space Heavenly Sovereign was not afraid of the box falling into the hands of other races. Ironically, the box ended up in the hands of the Starry Sky Fishman clan, who unknowingly handed it over to Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu smiled lightly, teasing.
Qingru, did you sell yourself?
He put away the jade token and looked at the second box. This box was left by the Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign, who left 2 ancient boxes in the inheritance land. Lin Moyu was curious about what was inside. After some research, Lin Moyu knew how to open the box. Each box required different runes, but none were difficult for Lin Moyu. With a soft sound, the box opened. Brilliant rays of light flew out from the box, accompanied by various auras.
Treasures, more than one.
Lin Moyu sensed many auras, indicating that there were multiple items inside the box. These auras intertwined, strong and chaotic. When the box was fully opened, Lin Moyu found another ancient rune inside, which expanded the internal space of the box. In the expanded space, over 100 various items lay quietly.
These are materials needed for making ancient rune warriors.
Lin Moyu recognized at a glance that these items were materials for making ancient rune warriors. Many of these materials were already extinct, and even with 12 core ancient runes, it was difficult to create ancient rune warriors as powerful as those from ancient times. The materials in the box were only a small part of what was needed, less than a third. However, Lin Moyu could see that the materials left by the Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign were very precious, even in ancient times. In the current era, they were even more priceless. Most importantly, these materials were hard to find substitutes for. Lin Moyu suspected that these materials were leftover scraps from when the Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign made ancient rune warriors. What were scraps back then were now extremely precious. With these materials, combined with 12 core ancient runes, the combat power of ancient rune warriors could be significantly enhanced.
The ancient rune warriors of the past could fight against peak supremes. With 12 core ancient runes in these materials, I wonder if they can rival supremes.
Lin Moyu thought to himself, filled with anticipation for another ancient box. Since both were left by the Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign, there might be more surprises. Lin Moyu opened the third box again. As soon as the box opened, a peculiar aura spread out.
Artifact spirit?
Lin Moyu sensed the aura of an artifact spirit and found it strange. Why did the Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign leave an artifact spirit in the box? When he saw the item inside the box, he realized he was mistaken. It was not an artifact spirit but a rune spirit. Inside the box lay an ancient rune, permanently solidified like the 12 core ancient runes, never to dissipate. On the ancient rune, a small creature was sleeping soundly. Half of its body floated on the ancient rune, the other half inside, looking very cute. The ancient rune had developed intelligence, like an artifact spirit or an array spirit, which was very rare. Only extremely perfect ancient runes had a 1 in a billion chance of developing intelligence and becoming a rune spirit. Even for the Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign, obtaining an intelligent ancient rune was very difficult. Over the years of constructing the world of rules, Lin Moyu had drawn countless ancient runes, each perfect, yet none had developed a rune spirit. The array spirit from previous arrays was purely a stroke of luck. Communicating with the ancient rune, information about the rune spirit flooded into Lin Moyu's soul. This rune spirit could manipulate any rune, including ancient rune warriors. With its presence, ancient rune warriors would become more agile, and their combat power would increase by at least 30%. As Lin Moyu received the information, he heard the somewhat annoying voice of the Saint Rune Heavenly Sovereign again. 2288, 2288. X chapter 2288. How could I be so stupid? The Holy Rune Heavenly Venerable had completely bid farewell to the great world, and the last traces of his existence had been erased. This was what the Holy Rune Heavenly Venerable himself said. He had completely left. Unexpectedly, here, Lin Moyu could still hear this guy's voice.
I explored the mysteries of life, creating living beings through runes, hoping to use this to ascend to the Tao Venerable Realm. Unfortunately, I failed. The path to the Tao Venerable Realm in the Great World was blocked, and the Great World lost its hope. I had no choice but to leave and seek a new path. If future generations are fortunate enough to obtain my inheritance, perhaps they can glimpse the ultimate Tao I pursued through this rune spirit.
After listening, Lin Moyu couldn't help but fall into deep thought. He hadn't expected that the rune spirit had another meaning for the Holy Rune Heavenly Venerable. The Holy Rune Heavenly Venerable attempted to create true living beings, pursuing the Tao Venerable Realm. Whether it was the ancient rune warriors or the rune spirit, they were all part of his pursuit of the Tao. Moreover, according to the Holy Rune Heavenly Venerable, The rune spirit was the ultimate product of his pursuit, even more advanced than the ancient rune warriors. Unfortunately, he still failed. This path was blocked, and he had to seek another way. Later, the ancient war broke out, and the great world was severely damaged, completely blocking his hope of ascending to the Tao Venerable realm. The Holy Rune Heavenly Venerable had no choice but to leave the great world and continue pursuing his Tao in the realm sea. As for the rune spirit, since this path was blocked, it was of no use to keep it. But after all, it was his painstaking effort, and he couldn't bear to destroy it, so he left it behind. Lin Moyu had never thought of following the Holy Rune Heavenly Venerable's path. For him, the existence of the rune spirit was just to enhance the combat power of the ancient rune warriors. Now the rune spirit was still asleep. It was not time to awaken it. Lin Moyu closed the box again. When the ancient rune warriors were refined, it would be the day the rune spirit awakened. No matter what the Holy Rune Heavenly Venerable had done, at least what he left behind was useful to Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu thought that if he ever met him, he would thank him first and then give him a beating. Of course, that was assuming he could win. There were 2 ancient boxes left, both left by the mysterious master. Lin Moyu believed that the items left by the mysterious master must be better than those left by the Holy Rune Heavenly Venerable. With a bit of anticipation, Lin Moyu examined the ancient box. The runes on the ancient box flowed, and as Lin Moyu observed, his brows slightly furrowed.
These runes feel more advanced than the Holy Rune Heavenly Venerable's runes. The Holy Rune Heavenly Venerable's runes still have traces to follow, but these runes seem to be naturally formed.
Lin Moyu was astonished. The Holy Rune Heavenly Venerable was already the highest achievement in runes in ancient times, unmatched by anyone. But now he saw with his own eyes runes more advanced than those of the Holy Rune Heavenly Venerable. This feeling made him somewhat surprised and incredulous. Lin Moyu felt the runes on the box.
In the great world, the only thing that can surpass the Holy Rune Heavenly Venerable in terms of runes is the great world's runes themselves. Could the mysterious master have a connection with the great world's runes? Right, the world-burning rune is also a special rune. It seems that the mysterious master also knows runes, and his attainment in runes is even higher than that of the Holy Rune Heavenly Venerable.
Previously, unlocking the ancient boxes had been almost effortless for Lin Moyu. This time, however, he found it somewhat challenging. But Lin Moyu had a special feeling for runes. Although the runes on the ancient box were difficult, he was still confident he could unlock them. He studied the runes on the box, entering a state of forgetting both himself and the world. Vaguely, Lin Moyu felt he had touched another level of runes, but it was just a touch. He knew he was still far from this level. Not knowing what to call this level, Lin Moyu named it Heavenly Formed. It meant naturally formed, a level even the Holy Rune Heavenly Venerable found difficult to reach. After studying for an unknown number of days, Lin Moyu finally gained some understanding of the runes on the ancient box. He tried to draw an extremely complex ancient rune. The ancient rune fell on the box, corresponding exactly with the runes on the box. But the box did not open, and the ancient rune he drew quickly dissipated. Lin Moyu muttered to himself,
"The runes are not wrong. Something is missing."
Thinking of the mysterious master's methods, Lin Moyu immediately realized what he was missing: the power of void and reality, or the power of origin. Whether it was the power of void and reality or the power of origin, Lin Moyu could handle both. With a thought, flames rose in the bone hell, and a power of void and reality fell into his hand. He began to draw runes. The runes drawn with the power of void and reality emitted a strong aura. Although they were ancient runes, their power almost doubled. Lin Moyu whispered,
"Supremes gain the power of origin, surpassing saints in the essence of power. And those powerful Supremes understand void and reality, opening the door to the Tao Venerable realm. Now I have both origin and the understanding of void and reality, yet I am still a saint. What kind of realm is this?"
He found it strange himself, wondering what his realm was, as if he had embarked on a path different from everyone else. The runes fell on the box, and the box immediately emitted a brilliant light. An indescribable vitality surged out, filling the entire Rule World. The Rule World, already full of vitality, now had its vitality multiplied several times. The World Tree swayed continuously, enjoying this vitality and cheering. As it swayed, the World Tree greedily absorbed this vitality, and countless spirit flowers and fruits on the World Tree seemed to mature. Lin Moyu saw the contents of the box and exclaimed,
"A grain of soil."
There was nothing else in the box, just a grain of soil. This grain of soil was only the size of a fingernail, and all the vitality came from it. The released vitality was just a tiny part of it. The vitality contained in this grain of soil was unimaginably strong. Lin Moyu, filled with amazement, muttered to himself,
"What kind of soil is this, to have such immense vitality? The origin of this soil must be extraordinary, definitely not a product of the Great World. If I guess correctly, it should come from outside the Great World, from the Realm Sea. Compared to this, the items left by the Holy Rune Heavenly Venerable are far inferior."
In the next second, Lin Moyu felt that comparing it to the Holy Rune Heavenly Venerable's items was an insult to it. This grain of soil had a natural nobility, even surpassing origin crystals. This made Lin Moyu think of the Realm Sea, filled with countless opportunities. If even such things could be obtained, how vast must the world outside the Great World be? Lin Moyu reached out to take it, but found it incredibly heavy. With his strength, he could destroy stars with a flick of his finger, exerting force of billions of pounds. But he couldn't lift a grain of soil the size of a fingernail. Lin Moyu, unwilling to give up, activated the undying golden body, unleashing his power, but it still didn't move.
"How can this thing be so heavy?"
Lin Moyu couldn't believe it. At this moment, he heard a rustling sound, and the branches of the World Tree fell beside his ear, rubbing against it. Lin Moyu felt the thoughts of the World Tree and smiled.
"What, you want it?"
The World Tree rustled, as if saying,
"I want it."
Lin Moyu extended the box.
"If you want it, take it."
The World Tree immediately wrapped around the box, placing it at its roots. The entire tree swayed excitedly, its massive trunk trembling continuously. Lin Moyu watched as the World Tree's roots overturned the box, and the grain of soil fell onto the roots. Lin Moyu slapped his forehead and laughed.
"How could I be so stupid?"
2289 2289. Chapter 2289. Everything is ready, only the east wind is missing. The life-filled soil fell into the roots of the World Tree, which began to tremble, and a vast vitality started to spread throughout the World Tree. The World Tree suddenly fell silent, with no movement. Lin Moyu knew that the World Tree was absorbing the vitality and estimated that it would not show any reaction for a while.
"I wonder what changes will occur after the World Tree absorbs this soil."
With a bit of anticipation, Lin Moyu took the last box in his hand.
"What will be in the last box?"
The items left by the mysterious master were too advanced and definitely not ordinary. After studying it for a while, he once again mobilized the power of void and reality to draw runes. Click! The box opened in the light of the runes. This time, no powerful aura rushed out, and the box opened without any movement. Lin Moyu's eyes widened in disbelief as he looked at the items inside the box. How could the box left by the mysterious master be empty? The reason there was no aura rushing out was that the items inside were all composed of the power of void.
A rule god stone composed of the power of void. Rune materials composed of the power of void. Star river stones composed of the power of void.
Inside the small box were hundreds of materials purely composed of the power of void. These materials appeared to have no physical form, so they could overlap without affecting each other. They all had a common characteristic. They were all composed of the power of void. As long as the power of reality was injected into them, they would become supreme materials with both void and reality. These materials were the materials needed to construct the divine path. The mysterious master left all the materials needed to construct the divine path. Previously, Lin Moyu had been thinking about where to find the materials to construct the divine path. Although he had obtained the method to construct the divine path, the materials were hard to find. Unexpectedly, the mysterious master had already thought it through for him, being extremely considerate.
Mysterious master, who exactly are you? How can you calculate so accurately? With your ability, leaving the great world is easy. Why didn't you leave? The Tao is hard to find. Don't you want to achieve the Tao and become a Tao venerable?
Lin Moyu didn't know what the mysterious master was thinking, but he had always been considering the great world, and that was not wrong. All the calculations and arrangements were actually to save the great world. Lin Moyu had long realized that the mysterious master's goal was consistent with his own, and the two could cooperate well. They would carry out this cooperation spanning millions of years to the end. No matter the outcome, Lin Moyu would not regret it, and he believed the mysterious master would not regret it either.
Everything is ready, only the east wind is missing.
Lin Moyu muttered to himself, just waiting for the battle realm to arrive, to seize the origin of the battle realm, and let the great world be reborn. By evolving new Tao runes, he could also construct a new divine path, allowing the great world to regain vitality. Putting away all the ancient boxes, Lin Moyu looked at the world tree. The vitality on the world tree grew stronger and stronger, and the entire tree body was trembling and shaking. Lin Moyu could feel that the world tree was very excited. As the master of the world tree's excitement also affected him, making him feel inexplicably excited. The branches of the world tree swayed continuously, causing the entire rule world to shake. Vast vitality spread throughout the entire rule world, and Lin Moyu felt that the world tree had truly become the core of the rule world. Such a world tree was the true world tree. The vast vitality spread along the huge tree body, extending to the branches. The fruits and spirit flowers on the branches began to mature under the nourishment of the vast vitality. The fruits and spirit flowers matured very slowly. They had matured once more than 100 years ago, but only one fruit which Lin Moyu ate, forming the prototype of the rule world. The prototype of the rule world opened the door for Lin Moyu to the holy venerable world, paving the way for him to construct the rule world. After that, the fruits and spirit flowers never matured again, not even one. Now, thanks to this life-filled miraculous soil, the fruits and spirit flowers finally began to mature.
I wonder how many will mature.
The fruits and spirit flowers gradually grew, starting to emit a rosy glow, and the world tree was immediately enveloped in light, becoming hazy and mysterious. A wonderful fragrance spread throughout the rule world, directly entering the soul, making the soul feel comfortable. The soul's instinct told Lin Moyu that whether it was the fruits or the spirit flowers, they would be extremely beneficial to him. The matured spirit flowers were very similar to the wood god flowers. The spirit flowers were not wood god flowers. They were of a much higher level, far superior. Lin Moyu even suspected that the holy rune Heavenly Venerable had seen the spirit flowers somewhere and used them as a sample to create the wood god flowers. The spirit flowers bloomed one by one, and the fragrance grew stronger. Just smelling it made the soul power increase. If the spirit flowers were placed in the outside world, the place where they were would immediately become a holy land for cultivation. The matured spirit flowers had 24 petals, arranged in an orderly and exquisite manner, like a work of art. The fruits also matured. The fruits of the world tree were plump on the outside, and their fragrance was even stronger, tempting the appetite. Lin Moyu couldn't help but want to pick one and eat it. The spirit flowers and fruits matured until the world tree stopped changing.
100 fruits, 100 spirit flowers. The others have also grown significantly, not far from maturity. A small grain of soil has such a powerful effect. I wonder where the mysterious master got it from. If there were more, perhaps all the fruits and spirit flowers of the world tree could mature.
Lin Moyu felt he was being a bit fanciful. Even the mysterious master could only obtain one grain, so it must be extremely difficult to get more. Lin Moyu looked at the 100 fruits and 100 spirit flowers, considering how to distribute them, when the infinite fusion spell star was the first to fly over. It emitted a hazy mist, directly enveloping a large area of branches. The spirit flowers and fruits on the branches instantly disappeared. As it passed by the world tree, 10 fruits and 10 spirit flowers were gone from the world tree.
You glutton, be careful not to overeat.
Lin Moyu couldn't help but laugh. This guy didn't even say anything and just came over to eat, taking away a tenth of the total in one go. However, Lin Moyu didn't blame it. Even if it ate them all, he wouldn't blame it. The infinite fusion had provided too much help in his cultivation process. Lin Moyu looked at the infinite fusion and said loudly,
Do you want more?
The infinite fusion swayed left and right, indicating it was full. Lin Moyu smiled, and with a thought, several legion commanders flew out towards the spirit flowers. After obtaining the white bone battle formation and the battle realm, Lin Moyu knew that the first ones needing the spirit flowers for a second incubation were the legion commanders. Letting the legion commanders gain intelligence, learn and master the white bone battle formation, and control the battle realm. This would be a very powerful army. 1,000,000 other shore realm beings could rival a supreme. If it were 1,000,000 holy venerables, they could probably fight against a powerful supreme. The legion commanders flew into the spirit flowers. As they approached the spirit flowers, the legion commanders continuously shrank until they finally entered the spirit flowers. The spirit flowers swayed and slowly closed, their 24 petals folding in. Lin Moyu could feel a magical power flowing inside the spirit flowers. This power was of a very high level, not origin power, but not weaker than origin power. The world tree was already very unusual. Lin Moyu had never seen anyone with such a talent, which defied common sense. Lin Moyu waited quietly for the spirit flowers to complete the incubation. 3 days later, the spirit flowers incubating the legion commanders suddenly began to wither. The withering was very fast, and in the blink of an eye, they had completely wilted. The legion commanders flew out from inside and knelt before Lin Moyu with a thud.
Greetings, my lord.
2290. Chapter 2290 Fusion Undead Commander. The legion commanders knelt decisively, their voices loud and clear. Lin Moyu felt the connection between him and them becoming even closer. He could sense their consciousness, and as long as he wished, nothing they thought could be hidden from him. This meant that the legion commanders, who had gained intelligence, were completely open to him. He could issue commands, control their thoughts, and even modify their personalities and memories at will, changing the way they thought about problems. He had absolute control over the legion commanders. Absolute loyalty was the baseline, never to be changed. With intelligence, he could issue more ambiguous commands without needing to micromanage every step. Their combat methods would become more diverse, and the combat power of the undead legion would significantly increase. Lin Moyu was very satisfied with this result and slowly spoke.
You are the first legion commander to gain intelligence. From now on, you will be the commander of the first legion, named Commander 1. Next, eat this.
With a thought, a mature world fruit automatically fell into one's hand. Commander 1 took the world fruit and directly put it into his mouth. He would never hesitate to follow Lin Moyu's commands. The world fruit exploded, transforming into a peculiar power that enveloped Commander 1. Commander 1's aura surged violently, and he stood still, motionless. The soul flame in his head flickered intensely as the power of the world fruit entered his soul world. Lin Moyu commanded him not to resist, and Commander 1 fully complied, not resisting at all. His soul world began to change, undergoing a transformation and sublimation under the influence of the world fruit. A rule world aura emanated from him. The world fruit, when consumed below the holy venerable realm, had a certain chance of awakening the form of a rule world. If a rule world already existed, it could enhance the rule world. Although the legion commander's aura had reached the holy venerable realm, he did not have a rule world. Consuming the world fruit gave him a certain chance to form the shape of a rule world. Once the shape was formed, the next steps would be easier. Continuing to consume world fruits could quickly enhance the rule world until it became a true rule world. Commander 1 was very lucky. Just one world fruit allowed him to form the shape of a rule world. The moment the shape of the rule world was formed, Commander 1's aura surged dramatically. Lin Moyu raised an eyebrow.
Oh? He really became a holy venerable.
With the rule world, Commander 1 became a true holy venerable. Lin Moyu checked his attributes and found that after becoming a holy venerable, his combat power had increased significantly. Under the art of dominion, he would not be weaker than any other holy venerable. While satisfied, Lin Moyu was also somewhat disappointed. The attribute he most wanted did not appear. To master the white bone battle formation, one needed to command 1,000,000 subordinates. The Legion commander could only control 100,000 subordinates. Even after gaining intelligence and becoming a holy venerable, it was still 100,000, with no change.
Did I miss something?
As Lin Moyu pondered, the infinite fusion spell star automatically flew down, circling around him non-stop. It conveyed a series of thoughts.
Let me.
Lin Moyu smiled.
All right, you do it. More.
Infinite fusion, like a child, babbled. Lin Moyu thought for a moment and understood what
more
meant. He summoned more Legion commanders, lining them up for Infinite Fusion to choose from. Infinite Fusion selected 999 Legion commanders, and with Commander 1 it made exactly 1,000. Infinite Fusion sprayed mist, enveloping the 1,000 Legion commanders with the Chaos Law. Under the influence of the Chaos Law, the Legion commanders began to merge with each other. Lin Moyu felt his power further increase, and even the newly formed shape of the rule world began to grow stronger.
1,000 Legion commanders fused into one. This fusion technique is far superior to the fusion technique of the Black Blood Great Realm.
Lin Moyu thought to himself. Although the power increase was not as significant as the Black Blood Great Realm's fusion technique, it was superior in other aspects. The Legion commanders fused by Infinite Fusion were truly integrated, permanently fused, and would not separate. Their soul powers merged, making the rule world complete and powerful. Although not perfect, it was not much weaker than ordinary holy venerables. The fusion process went smoothly and ended quickly. Lin Moyu eagerly checked the attributes. Undead Commander. Level. Holy Venerable. Units commanded 1,000,000. Ability. Dominion. Can command the Undead Legion, forming an independent army. The fused Legion commanders were now named Undead Commander, and their realm had indeed reached the Holy Venerable level. Most importantly, the number of units the Undead Commander could command had reached 1,000,000, meeting the requirements of the Whitebone battle formation. Lin Moyu looked at the transformed Undead Commander, feeling a bit strange. It was as if the skeleton commander from the ancient tomb had been resurrected. He increasingly felt that he had some connection with the mysterious master. Otherwise, why would they both have similar legions?
Could it be that I am the reincarnation of the mysterious master? But I clearly traveled from another world. How could I be his reincarnation? Or maybe I inherited his legacy, and that system was the mysterious master? But the two don't seem alike. The system has been gone for so many years. Who knows where it went?
Lin Moyu couldn't figure it out and decided not to dwell on it. As long as he was strong enough, he would eventually unravel all the mysteries. Infinite Fusion flew to Lin Moyu's side, circling around him non-stop, as if saying,
Praise me, praise me.
Lin Moyu laughed.
Well done. How about fusing a bit more?
Although the number of Legion commanders would significantly decrease after fusion, the combat power of the Undead Legion would increase dramatically. Lin Moyu could clearly see the trade-off. Infinite Fusion shook left and right, conveying a thought.
They are not qualified.
Lin Moyu thought for a moment and understood. To fuse, a core was needed. This core was the Legion commander who had gained intelligence and formed a rule world. With a thought, Lin Moyu had other Legion commanders enter the spirit flowers for a second incubation. There were still 89 spirit flowers left. Lin Moyu divided them into batches, 10 at a time. The second incubation with the spirit flowers was guaranteed to succeed, but the world fruit was not guaranteed. Moreover, Lin Moyu planned to save some world fruits for other uses. While the spirit flowers were incubating, Lin Moyu took out the battle realm. The battle realm was actually a rule world. Using the method passed down by the mysterious master, he had Commander 1 refine the battle realm with his own rule world. The refining process went smoothly, and the battle realm became his. He then handed the White Bone battle formation to Commander 1 and assigned him 1,000,000 skeleton god generals. The White Bone battle formation seemed to be born for the Undead Legion. Commander 1 learned it quickly and would master it in no time. Lin Moyu could already foresee a powerful army capable of contending with Supremes emerging soon. His first legion would be stronger than the Ancient Tombs Legion. Each of his skeleton god generals was at the Holy Venerable level without a rule world. Combined, they could definitely suppress ordinary Supremes. 2291, 2291. Chapter 2291. Believing there will be such a day. Nurturing, consuming the world fruit, and undergoing fusion. The world fruit does not always succeed. To increase the success rate, Lin Moyu even activated the
explosive luck technique
to maximize his luck. As it turned out, the explosive luck technique was not always effective. Lin Moyu consumed 80 world fruits, and in the end, only 50 Legion rulers successfully obtained the rule world form. Through infinite fusion, they transformed into undead commanders. Each undead commander can lead an undead legion of millions, utilizing the bone battle formation to exert supreme combat power. The only pity is that there is only one battle realm. Except for the first legion, the other undead legions can only enter the rule world of the undead commanders. As a result, many advantages of the battle realm cannot be enjoyed by them. The resurrection advantage in the battle realm, in particular, is extremely beneficial for prolonged battles. Even with the undying undead, the advantages of the battle realm are irreplaceable. Lin Moyu would not forget that in the Sea of Realms, the undying undead were ineffective. But the battle realm should not have this problem. Consuming 50,000 Legion rulers to exchange for 50 undead commanders was truly worth it. With 50 legions of supreme combat power, Lin Moyu's eyes sparkled with excitement. If he had such an army, what would the 100 Tribes Alliance be? They could be swept aside directly with no need for any strategies. Lin Moyu's eyes gleamed.
If all the Legion rulers could be fused into undead commanders, that would be a total of 4,000 undead commanders. Besides, there aren't enough spirit flowers and world fruits. It seems I am thinking too much.
Lin Moyu put away his unrealistic thoughts and instructed all the undead commanders to practice the bone battle formation, striving to master it as soon as possible. The door of the training room, which had been closed for nearly 20 years, finally opened, and Lin Moyu slowly walked out. The rule world had completely converged. His foundation was too solid, with no leakage of aura. As long as Lin Moyu did not wish it, even the human emperor could not detect his aura. The human emperor appeared in front of Lin Moyu, with a hint of doubt.
Did you succeed?
Lin Moyu slightly released a trace of the rule world's aura, and the powerful aura surged forward. The human emperor immediately showed a look of joy.
A perfect level rule world.
Perfect level? Of course, it was more than that. Lin Moyu did not explain, taking out a world fruit and tossing it to the human emperor.
Senior human emperor, try this and see if it works for you.
The human emperor took the world fruit. He could tell that it was a high-grade natural treasure, but he could not discern its specific use. The human emperor laughed.
I appreciate it, but I am now a split soul residing in a magical treasure. This is my fate.
Lin Moyu smiled.
Since there are technological magical treasures, it means there are technological cultivation methods in the world. Perhaps the road ahead is not completely blocked. Senior, don't lose hope. Try it, it won't hurt. If you think this fruit is too precious, there's no need. I have more.
As he spoke, another world fruit appeared in Lin Moyu's hand. Seeing this, The human emperor no longer hesitated and directly absorbed the world fruit into his body. His true body was now a technological magical treasure, not the projection seen outside. The world fruit merged with the magical treasure, releasing miraculous power. The human emperor's true body began to vibrate and roar intensely, startling the other cultivators in the Bien realm. The human emperor, who had been inactive for countless years, suddenly showed such a reaction. Lin Moyu keenly sensed that the human emperor's aura was strengthening.
It seems I was right. Whether it's a magical treasure or a cultivator, as long as there is a real world, the world fruit is useful. This also proves that the world tree is not from the great world. There are no technological magical treasures in the great world. If the world tree were born in the great world, it wouldn't be effective on technological magical treasures. Most likely, the world tree comes from the Sea of Realms.
Lin Moyu pondered as the human emperor's projection reappeared. The human emperor's eyes were filled with excitement.
It's really effective. My rule world has strengthened, almost reaching perfection.
Lin Moyu smiled.
Any other changes?
The human emperor nodded.
Originally, my power could barely cover the human star domain, about 300,000 light-years in diameter. Now, the range I can cover has reached 500,000 light-years, much larger than before.
Lin Moyu smiled.
The magical treasure you obtained in the Sea of Realms is extraordinary.
He did not take credit but attributed it to the magical treasure the human emperor had obtained. A magical treasure that could sustain the human emperor for tens of thousands of years was indeed remarkable. The human emperor also smiled.
Don't be modest. I know my own situation.
Lin Moyu said.
Perhaps there will be such a day.
The human emperor also nodded solemnly.
I hope so too.
Lin Moyu took out the remaining 9 world fruits.
Please give these to Elder Xing and the other holy lords. I have other matters to attend to, so I won't visit them.
The human emperor readily agreed.
Don't worry, I'll deliver them.
There are now 7 holy lords among the humans, plus Elder Xing, requiring a total of 8 fruits. The last fruit was prepared for Xiao Wu. No matter how well the heavenly lord prepared for Xiao Wu, it would not be as substantial as a world fruit. Xiao Wu's cultivation speed was fast, and she was not far from becoming a holy lord. Lin Moyu asked,
Anything significant happened while I was in seclusion?
The human emperor replied,
Not much. After you went into seclusion, the world barrier trembled once, likely due to a mortal Han breaking through it. We have not received any news about the Buddha clan you asked us to find. The Starry Sky Fish clan has deeply cooperated with us.
Lin Moyu smiled.
Are the Starry Sky Fish clan obedient?
The human emperor replied,
So far, they seem to be. Obedience is good.
With the fish sword in hand, Lin Moyu would not hesitate to cut down any disobedience. The human emperor continued,
Princess Ro has returned to the human race, and Holy Lord Dai arranged a residence for her. But seeing that you hadn't come out, Princess Ro also went into seclusion recently and is currently cultivating. Miss Yuzhu has also been brought there to accompany Princess Ro. The two have a good relationship and are currently in seclusion together.
Lin Moyu smiled.
Then I won't disturb them. Let's get to business first.
After speaking, Lin Moyu opened the space gate. Before entering, he suddenly said,
I might go to the outer domain. If they come out of seclusion, let them know not to worry.
The human emperor nodded.
Don't worry, stay safe.
The outer domain is not safe, and even Lin Moyu must be cautious. Lin Moyu entered the space gate, crossing 100,000 light-years, leaving the Divine City Star domain. After several openings of the space gate, Lin Moyu had left the human race. His target was the ancient ruins where the Dragon Pearl was located. Going to the ancient ruins was both to find the Dragon Pearl and to search for the remains of the Supreme Peak. In case there were Supreme Peaks in the battle realm, Lin Moyu needed to be prepared to deal with them. As for the remains of the Heavenly Lord, Lin Moyu remembered the words of the Holy Talisman Heavenly Lord, that it was extremely dangerous, and even the Supreme Peak could not guarantee safety. But from another perspective, it was possible for the Supreme Peak to obtain the remains of the Heavenly Lord. If so, what if he could first obtain the remains of a Supreme Peak? Lin Moyu had high hopes, wishing things would develop as he envisioned. 2292 Chapter 2292 Xingping Supreme, Xingping Legion. Among the 6 most dangerous ancient ruins recorded by the human race, the fingertip ruins have already been deciphered by Lin Moyu. The fingertip ruins are relatively less dangerous among the 6 ruins. Even when a Saint Sovereign entered, they were only injured. No Saint Sovereign has fallen within. However, the Stone Meteor ruins before him are much more dangerous. A Saint Sovereign named Stone Meteor from the human race once entered and never came out, hence the name of the ruins. Later monitoring by the human race also found that the Demon race and the Golden Eagle race had Saint Sovereigns enter, and they too never came out. At least 3 Saint Sovereigns have been buried in the Stone Meteor ruins, and perhaps more died there in earlier times. Lin Moyu stood at the entrance of the ruins. The ruins were vast, with a diameter exceeding 10 light-years, shrouded in mist generated by an unknown force. Standing outside the ruins, one could not see what was inside. Lin Moyu tried sending a skeleton general inside, but as soon as it entered, he lost contact with it. This was normal. The ruins were an ancient battlefield where peak supremes and even heavenly lords had fallen, their power lingering for millions of years, forming an independent world. Unable to sense the situation inside through the skeleton general, Lin Moyu had to enter personally. After a moment of hesitation, Lin Moyu stepped in resolutely. No matter how dangerous, he had to see it for himself. The scene before him changed, the mist dissipated, and before he could see the world clearly, a cold light flashed, making Lin Moyu's hair stand on end. His undying golden body activated instinctively, and he instantly turned into a man of fire. Flames collided with the cold light, and with a bang, Lin Moyu was shaken and took 2 steps back. Only then did he see that the cold light was a battle knife. The knife flew back and was caught by someone. The one who caught the knife was a warrior, bare-chested, with extremely developed muscles full of explosive power. This warrior was clearly human, exuding an ancient aura. Unfortunately, he had no head and had become a headless warrior.
He is already dead, but his obsession keeps him fighting. His obsession comes from this world.
Lin Moyu quickly understood that the entire ruins seemed to be enveloped by a terrifying will. A will that was simple. Eternal, unending battle. As he pondered, the headless warrior charged again. The battle knife swung, its light cutting through the sky. A skeleton general suddenly appeared beside Lin Moyu, raising its long sword to block the attack. The headless warrior was shaken back, and the skeleton general was also sent flying. In terms of pure strength, the skeleton general was inferior. At this moment, the skeleton general's combat power was comparable to the weakest Saint Sovereign without a rule world. Using the skeleton general as a benchmark, it was clear that the headless warrior's strength was also at the Saint Sovereign level. This skeleton general was the one that had entered earlier. Once Lin Moyu entered the ruins, they reconnected. The skeleton general now had multiple laws blessing it, the power of death making all its attacks corrosive, and the power of life giving it strong regenerative abilities. The skeleton general stabilized its form in mid-air and charged again. It moved like a teleportation, instantly returning to the headless warrior, swinging its bone sword and unleashing fierce sword energy. The headless warrior swung his battle knife, shattering the sword energy, and the two clashed again. Lin Moyu watched the battle without sending more skeleton generals. Having just entered the ruins, there were many things he hadn't seen clearly, so he wasn't in a hurry. The existence of the headless warrior was a good way for him to understand the ruins. Lin Moyu observed the ruins. The world was vast, and the terrain before him was a plain. There were no clouds in the sky, only clusters of mist. Lin Moyu felt a terrible consciousness enveloping the ruins, making him feel oppressed. He flew into the air, looking down from above, and saw a wider world. In the distance, There was still a plain, but a stone monument appeared.
A tombstone.
Lin Moyu said softly. Stone monuments and tombstones are different. Some stone monuments record events, while tombstones mark graves. Having some understanding of ancient times, Lin Moyu could clearly distinguish the difference. The distant stone monument was a tombstone. Lin Moyu did not go there immediately. He looked at the sky and continued to ascend. As he rose, the pressure he felt grew stronger. Lin Moyu felt the powerful will more clearly, the will turning into real pressure on him. When he reached 10,000 meters, he could no longer ascend. At this point, he was still far from the true sky, but the pressure was too great. He could push further, but it would be meaningless. He did not come to the ruins to fight against a will that had lingered for millions of years.
Supreme level, not much stronger than the 100 battles Supreme. Could it be that these ruins were left by a Supreme?
Lin Moyu thought it wouldn't be that simple. If it were just a Supreme's ruins, it wouldn't be so dangerous. If an ordinary Saint Sovereign had entered earlier, they would have been injured by the Headless Warrior's attack. When he looked back at the battle below, he found the situation had changed. The Headless Warrior was growing stronger, and the Skeleton General was being suppressed. Lin Moyu squinted slightly.
The Skeleton General's combat power has weakened.
The Skeleton General's power was almost inexhaustible. Even after years of continuous battle, its power wouldn't diminish. But now, the Skeleton General's power had indeed weakened, at least by 20%. Similarly, the Headless Warrior's power had increased, as if the weakened part of the Skeleton General had transferred to the Headless Warrior. With this exchange, the Skeleton General was completely at a disadvantage and would soon be defeated. Lin Moyu sensed that this had something to do with the will enveloping the ruins. With a thought, several more Skeleton Generals flew out and joined the battle. With the group attack, the situation reversed, and the Headless Warrior was soon defeated by the Skeleton Generals. Sharp-boned swords unleashed powerful sword energy, tearing the Headless Warrior's body apart. The Headless Warrior exploded, blood staining the vast grassland. The grassland seemed stimulated, shaking violently. From above, Lin Moyu saw holes appearing on the grassland. From the holes, Headless Warriors were awakening. At the same time, a powerful aura was released from the distant tombstone, as if a terrifying existence was about to awaken. Lin Moyu's expression changed slightly. He stepped out and instantly arrived at the tombstone. He found that the will enveloping the ruins and the grassland's movements were related to the tombstone. Tomb of Xingping Supreme. The tombstone bore 6 large characters, confirming it was a Supreme's grave. Lin Moyu had never heard of Xingping Supreme. There were many Supremes in ancient times, most of whom were not recorded. Behind the tombstone, Lin Moyu saw another stone monument. This stone monument was smaller than the tombstone and had been blocked by it earlier. It also bore 6 characters. Xingping Legion Cemetery, 2293-2293. Chapter 2293. Seems we have no choice but to fight. Xingping Supreme, Xingping Legion. Lin Moyu seemed to understand that the warriors buried here were once members of the Xingping Legion. During the Great War, Saint Sovereign cultivators formed legions led by Supremes to engage in brutal battles with the enemy. Many Supremes were injured or fell, and many legions fought until they were utterly destroyed.
If I'm not mistaken, the Xingping Legion was one such legion that was completely annihilated. With Xingping Supreme's abilities, he couldn't have created such a relic on his own. Clearly, there are even more powerful beings here.
Lin Moyu had already made a judgment. The stone meteor ruins were an ancient battlefield. A world-shaking battle broke out here, with many Supremes and their armies dying in combat, turning the battlefield into ruins. As for whether any heavenly lords died here, it's hard to say. Looking at the Headless Warriors who had already revived, Lin Moyu didn't want to fight them. Xingping Supreme's will was also reviving, and Lin Moyu similarly didn't want to clash with Xingping Supreme. Xingping Supreme was different from the 100 Battles Supreme. The 100 Battles Supreme at least retained his original consciousness and could communicate. But Xingping Supreme had only battle intent left, losing the possibility of communication. This battle would be meaningless.
Let's go!
With a thought, Lin Moyu activated the laws of space, took a step forward, and instantly teleported billions of miles, intending to leave the grassland. Space twisted and changed, and Lin Moyu disappeared from the tombstone. But in the next second, he reappeared. Lin Moyu found himself still in the same place, not having moved an inch.
What's going on?
Lin Moyu was puzzled. This was the first time he had encountered such a situation. The laws of space were not suppressed, and he had indeed teleported, so why was he still in the same place? The laws of space rolled again, and a space gate appeared in front of him. At the same time, another space gate appeared not far behind him. The two space gates were connected. If he entered one, he would come out of the other, still in the same place. He had clearly set the space gate's destination 10 light-years away, a range that should have allowed him to leave the stone meteor ruins. But his positioning was twisted, and he ended up right behind himself. The laws of space seemed to be in disarray. The laws could be used, but the positioning was entirely wrong. A flash of insight struck Lin Moyu, and he suddenly understood what was happening. It was Xingping Supreme's will affecting his spatial positioning. This influence happened imperceptibly, and Lin Moyu hadn't even noticed. After all, Lin Moyu hadn't reached the Supreme level and wasn't very familiar with the methods of Supremes. Xingping Supreme didn't seem much stronger than the 100 Battles Supreme in terms of combat power, definitely not a strong figure among Supremes. But some of his methods were quite baffling. In just a few seconds, the revival of the Xingping Legion was nearing completion, with many warriors already standing up, their auras growing stronger. Lin Moyu truly didn't want to fight the Xingping Legion, so he chose to avoid them again. Since the laws of space couldn't be used, he decided to fly. He flew towards the distance at an astonishing speed. As a Saint Sovereign, even without using the laws of space, he could travel billions of miles per second. The grassland was boundless, and after flying for several seconds, Lin Moyu found himself still on the grassland. The surroundings were still shrouded by Xingping Supreme's will, and he hadn't truly left. A low roar echoed in his soul, and Xingping Supreme's will suddenly grew stronger. Lin Moyu felt a blur before his eyes and saw Xingping Supreme's tombstone again. Xingping Supreme not only affected spatial positioning but also the space itself, making it impossible to fly out. The warriors on the grassland had already revived, and killing intent was locked onto him. They were Legion members, soldiers, and military men who followed orders. Now they awaited Xingping Supreme's command to launch the fiercest attack. These warriors had no heads, each holding a battle knife, looking fierce and terrifying. Lin Moyu could feel their soaring battle intent, undiminished after millions of years.
It seems we have no choice but to fight.
Lin Moyu sighed softly. Even if he didn't want to fight, what else could he do in this situation? Xingping Supreme's will grew stronger, and the overwhelming pressure swept down from the sky. Lin Moyu's body sank, his undying golden body burning fiercely, and his soul erupted with powerful force. The soul power of a supreme level blocked Xingping Supreme's will. Lin Moyu wasn't afraid. He simply didn't want to fight.
Kill.
A murderous voice echoed in Xingping Supreme's will, forming the word
Kill,
which exploded on the grassland. Tens of thousands of headless warriors soared into the sky, charging at Lin Moyu. The killing intent shook the heavens and earth, and they formed a battle formation, their combat power rapidly increasing. Facing the impact of the killing intent, Lin Moyu remained unmoved and murmured,
"Then let's kill."
In an instant, an ancient tomb appeared before him. The battle realm emerged, and the coffins opened one by one. The first legion of the undead, led by Commander 1, charged out from the battle realm with 1,000,000 skeleton generals, instantly forming a bone battle formation. Commander 1 had already mastered the bone battle formation. The battle formation formed by 1,000,000 Saint Sovereign-level skeleton generals could surpass many Supremes.
Defeat them.
Lin Moyu gave the order without directing Commander 1 on how to do it. Commander 1's eyes flickered with the light of wisdom, raised his battle knife, and roared.
Bone Law.
Above the skeleton generals' heads, the Bone Law galaxy appeared, converging into an ocean. The Bone Battle Formation suddenly activated, gathering all the power together. The two battle formations collided, and terrifying energy swept across the grassland. The ground exploded, and billions of miles of grassland were plowed, leaving it in ruins. The battle formation of 10,000 headless warriors was shattered in the collision, and the headless warriors were collectively blown away. In the clash of battle formations, the Bone Battle Formation won. The battle formation of the headless warriors could exert the combat power of a half-step supreme, but it was far inferior to the Bone Battle Formation. Commander 1 raised his battle knife again and roared.
Bone Battle Blade.
Bones surged, forming countless battle blades that slashed at the headless warriors. The headless warriors wielded their battle knives to resist the bone battle blades. But the power gap was too great. Without the support of the battle formation, the headless warriors couldn't withstand the bone battle blades and were almost instantly torn to pieces. The tombstone roared, and Xingping Supremes will let out a howl. A huge figure appeared in the sky. Xingping Supreme finally appeared, wearing exquisite armor and exuding immense power. Unfortunately, like the headless warriors, he too had lost his head. Lin Moyu frowned slightly.
Why is he also headless? Where did the heads go?
Xingping Supreme held a magical treasure, with a star in the middle and two ends resembling a balance scale. His magical treasure was a star balance. The balance kept its equilibrium, and Xingping Supremes will rolled, activating the balance. One end of the balance pressed down while the other rose high.
Weak enemy, strong me.
The terrifying will swept across the grassland like a storm. Lin Moyu's body grew heavier, feeling as if his power was being weakened. Not only him, but the power of the Undead Legion was also collectively weakened. The headless warriors who had just died revived one after another, forming a legion again. Their combat power was even stronger than before. 2294 2294